Welcome to Odd Boys. This is a pre-recorded episode for your pleasure. My name is Nathan Barnett, former gravedigger from spooky old New England, and this is my co-host, Tinfoil Tom.
That's right, future grave filler. So the match made in heaven or hell. You decide, grave digger and grave filler. It is
Well, I
weird.
I went to heaven and you went to hell because I filled your grave
True.
for you, so I'm the good person, and you
I
skipped
went
out
to.
early, so you're going
I
to
don't think
hell.
I don't think I went anywhere. I think I'm just endlessly wandering the earth looking to claim souls,
Oh, well, that's nice.
or just
Cleaning up,
eating
tidying
can't
up the
eating
earth.
going to get a grinder
From D'Angelo's.
from D'Angelo's. For anybody who's not from New England, a grinder is what you call a submarine sandwich in
hmm
spooky old New England.
There's a
So,
lot of names for that type of a sandwich I've learned. I worked
yeah.
at D'Angelo's for one day. What, D'Angelo's
I
subs?
mean, I'm not surprised. This is good. This is as every Odd Boys episode has gone. We've now derailed the conversation.
hmm
How many jobs have you had in your life? You started a new job, so you have to add that to the list.
Oh
How
my
many?
gosh, I have to add it. I'm a night janitor right now. I did one
Well,
shift. I'm
at the time
technically
at the
employed.
time
I
of
don't know
this
if I've been
year,
hired
yeah.
deeper or been fired yet, but I haven't heard from them since that
How
night.
many
I haven't
jobs
heard
do
from
you
them at
think you've
all,
had in
actually.
your so for anybody who doesn't know, Nathan has been a professional actor for the past 20 years. Prior to that, how many just regular jobs did you have? You must have had, by my count, you've had at least 40.
Last I remember, it was 45, and that was up until one of my last few jobs. It might have been up to the last job, which my last job was 2007 at California. I worked at California Pizza Kitchen as a waiter, and I just couldn't do my shifts ever because I was booking so many jobs, acting jobs, a lot of commercials, and I was always getting my shifts covered. So they eventually on Easter, then boss came over to me and he fired me. He's like, "Oh, we got to ask you to
God.
leave," and I was like, "Wait, what?" He's like, "Yeah, you're not covering any of your shifts." I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm getting them covered by other waiters." He's like, "Yeah, but you're not working, so we just don't need you." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, all right." And then I went to go leave. He goes, "Oh, well, we're gonna have you finish the shift." And I was like, "Well, I can just go home." He goes, "No, no, we." So the guy wanted me to work,
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
go home after. I was like, "Well, if you're firing me, screw you. I'm leaving." And I did finish the shift though. But anyway, yeah, that
It
was my
really,
45th job, I think.
and as of this
So,
is 40, technically, I guess
and
you're not hired. So at the
46th job would be acting
maybe,
for the past
so
20 years as an actor.
we should address that
47th
one.
job would be this janitor job.
47th job.
Yeah.
So we should address that just one more time. We'll say it periodically throughout the show. It is very weird to not have a live audience either. We're pre-recording this so that we can
Yeah.
take a bit of. I'll probably at this point I'll probably still be live on Twitch. Jamie will probably still be live on Twitch. Nathan is going on a holiday break. He's going to go back to the East Coast to visit his parents. Jamie has and we everybody has holiday stuff going on too. So we decided, and this is also post marathon and all of that stuff. So we decided to pre-record a couple episodes so that we could actually take a few weeks to like not be committed to doing the show for at least until the beginning of the year. But now if you're watching this, presumably the marathon has been a resounding success and the show is now locked in until 2027. You might be watching this being really sad because we got one member on the marathon and then the
Oh
show's
man.
just over now.
I hope
And this is the
that
end of
future
the
us
show.
are celebrating, and we're the most popular podcast on YouTube and the internet right now because the subathon went so well. Thank you, everyone. We should
Thank
preemptively
you.
thank
Thank
you
you.
for so much support.
And if it didn't go well, uh what's up guys?
Yeah, come
This
on.
is it. Yeah,
Where
you'll
else are you
see
gonna
it.
get your paranormal news?
Yeah, you'll see us on Twitch, I guess, because this show's over because
Yeah.
the marathon didn't go very well.
Look at how much
Uh
money I spent moving into this cabin in the woods to hide my location from the government and bring you guys vital paranormal information. I
oh,
blew all this money. All I got, not all the 90s entertainment playing behind me. It costs a lot of money for that tech.
how much did you spend on this? How much did
I
you
don't
spend on this
know
backdrop?
actually. If I was to
It's
add it
not
up
good.
real quick, it's real wood, some wrinkles in that wood, but that's just what happens when
Uh-huh.
wood gets wet. Ignore
Real
that.
real wood wallpaper. Got it.
Real wood, real candles, real flames next to the real wood. Uh,
Dangerous.
Real
Yep.
90s computer. This thing's my best thing in the whole room.
Yep.
The desk, and then just some shelves. I don't know. Probably costs $150. Actually, not maybe 200.
Yeah.
Not a
That's
lot.
not that's not that bad. I was gonna
Target
say about my backdrop,
and
I
Amazon.
am planning on changing my backdrop is just I'm in my we have a spare bedroom that we use as an office. This will
Same
probably be
here.
different. This will probably be different by the time this will be it'll be we'll be back on January and then the following you'll be like, "Oh, the backdrop is totally different." And Tom's just
Yeah.
got a bunch of random crap in the background for right now, but hopefully the marathon was a resounding success. Producer Jamie is employed until 2027. I'm employed until
Yeah, let's hear it for producer
2027.
Jamie.
Nathan is employed. Oh yeah,
Oh gosh, he's asleep.
he's
He
asleep.
fell asleep. 2026, a new year,
Wow.
and he can't even muster up enough energy to dedicate himself to this show.
He's actually going to be
Wow.
in this he's going to be in this position, I think. This is 20 we're recording this in the past. So this is 2025. He's going to be in that position from 2025 until the beginning of
Right.
the
Until
year.
next year. He's gonna have a creak in his neck if he's like that for a whole year. Wow. Jamie,
Jamie.
get
Wow.
it together. And Tom, I can't
Uh
wait to see Tom's new look. I think a unified look for you, and then my new look over here. This new
yeah.
podcast, new men, new paranormal news. We're going to the top. I will say our views and our numbers are going up on the shorts, specifically due to the shorts. So thank you,
I
everyone who
think
is joining us. I hope you can make
yeah,
it to the live shows on Fridays.
thank you, everybody. The live show is something that we do to hopefully eventually get to the point where we're just doing a podcast, but we're trying to grow the show. And something that I'm sure you've discovered as well is that the only way to get support typically nowadays on the internet is you have to do it live. So the people,
Yeah.
because you have to kind of like beat the
Remind
drum, be like,
people that we need to
right.
keep going. It's like
And nobody
PBS. Every time they always get their members on their megaphons or whatever.
or classical. I listen to the classical whenever I try to walk as much as I can or take public transit if I can. But if I do drive, I always listen to the classical radio station because I like
Mm.
classical music. And they I feel like
That's what psychopaths listen to. That's what murderers listen to.
right. It's like
Classical music.
I dress up like Patrick Bateman and then just
I was
drive
just
around
gonna
listening.
say you're like American Psycho.
Well, when I'm
You're
on my way to
Massachusetts Psycho.
when I'm on my way to Dorsia to go meet Paul Allen, I put on my well, no, he doesn't even listen to classical music. He listens to Huey Lewis and the News.
Oh yeah, that's classic rock right there.
This is like another
Probably
side tangent,
technically.
but
Sorry, yeah,
I've
we're
read
off topic. We haven't
yeah,
even gotten on topic yet.
I mean, yeah, I mean, this is just it's the rambling New Year's episode. I read the book American Psycho as well, and I think that it's touched on in the movie because they cover a lot of the stuff from the book in the movie, but part of like the Patrick Bateman thing is that he's trying to like fit in, to like blend in. So he has like entire chapters in the book talking about like Whitney Houston and stuff. Like he talks
Oh
about like, but he's trying to like sound like he's like, I am just a normal man. I'm listening to the new Whitney Houston album.
yeah,
But like
yeah.
he listens to like whatever is popular is what he listens to because he thinks that he's like a psychopath. So he
Hmm.
listens to whatever's popular because he thinks it'll make it easier for him to fit
Yeah.
in.
Appear. It's like Mark Zuckerberg. Appear more human.
Right. But,
Yeah.
what I was gonna say is, I listen to classical music, and I feel like every single ad break on that show, they always do that too. But it's like it's all year where
Listener
they go,
support
"Your yeah,
from the
listener
viewers
support
like
is
you.
it's the only way to keep classical music going, so make sure you donate, blah, 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 blah." But it's
Yeah.
kind of the same.
It's the original like and subscribe.
It's just the like and subscribe. So if you are
Yeah.
watching this, nobody ever has to donate when we are live. We do appreciate the members. If you're watching this right now, this is now showing up as like a VOD, a live VOD. Please consider getting a membership, or I'm sure we'll have like some sort of like super chat goal or something that's happening right now. I don't know what that goal would be, but
Mm,
consider
please help.
supporting the show, and then we're able
Yes,
to
yes.
able to actually keep doing this pretty often. As often
Hmm,
as we can.
hmm,
At
hmm.
least once a week, maybe more in the future. Every Friday,
Yes.
6 PM PST.
I will say this. I just got you guys may have already seen you guys would have already seen this set by now, but I just got confirmation of our first celebrity guest for the marathon is
What?
gonna join us.
Do we should keep that as well, I guess they would have seen it by now.
They already know who it is. Well, depending on who else we get, they don't know what one it will be, but there is one uh gamer who said he wants to come on. So
A
that will
mega
be fun.
gamer.
Mega gamer
I'm
will
very
be
curious
fun.
how this is gonna. I mean, this is we're recording this in the past, but now the
Hmm.
marathon for us is in the future.
Mm.
So I don't know how that is.
That's some we're time traveling. It's a perfect subject for us. Time
Basically, this is like
travelers.
this is a wormhole into the future. We don't know what's
Mm.
happening.
Yeah, oddballs is a
Jamie, J-
wormhole.
Jamie would probably still be asleep. He's probably still sleeping.
He'll wake up. Okay, he's asleep now, but he'll
No,
wake
he's
up. He
he's
probably because
still
he's so
asleep.
tired from the subathon. He was awake during the subathon and he was
True.
partying. Now he's like passed out because
I am very curious about the marathon. I will say this is like a side tangent, but if the marathon does very, very, very well, and I could say this because Alba's not here right now. If the marathon does very, very, very well, and this is being overly optimistic, but if it does very, very, very well, I would love to be able to have enough money to buy a new sofa because
ooh,
our this is a long story, or not a long story, but short version of a longer story. Uh, our one of our cats, you met Galaxy. Galaxy was
hmm,
one of our cats. He's a big, fluffy black cat. He sadly passed away. Loved Galaxy. He was the best. But during his time on Earth, he ripped out the bottom of our sofa. And
oh,
we, after a few months, we decided we have another cat, and we wanted to make sure that our other cat seemed like he was getting a little bored, and he's used to having another cat around. So we went to the we went to the the animal shelter, and we adopted another cat, and our new cat has discovered that he can crawl inside the couch because the bottom of the couch has been ripped out. So if the which is
wow.
very funny, but now we're like, and we couches are a little pricey, a little out of my budget at this time. So I'm hoping that if the marathon is a resounding success, I would love to go to Costco or something and buy a new sofa because our one of our cats is now hiding inside the couch all the time. He's found a new secret hiding spot, which, although funny, probably isn't the safest thing in the world.
No, let's just hope that you have a new couch now
That
when
would be
this is
awesome.
airing.
That would be awesome. I also have this is actually an odd event. So now we can segue. Also, one more time, this is pre-recorded. I'm gonna throw this out there because there's gonna be somebody. I'm gonna very specifically say somebody like well, let's just throw a certain name out. Let's just throw some names out there. Somebody like uh
Dave, Bill,
Dave. Dave in the chat right now is like, oh, they're live. Respond to me, odd boys. We are not live. This is pre-recorded. We're on our
but
holiday
will
break.
still respond to you, Dave and Bill.
We
But
might
I
be
won't
in the
respond to Frackstar. I won't
yep,
respond to. I'll respond to
raspberry,
Kyrie. I won't
ska.
respond to
We can respond to
Mothman because my
we tried
fiance is obsessed with you.
we respond to Ska B Gaming,
And I'll respond to Kevin
Kevin. What about
and
Eshin? Eshin is Eshin,
Mallory.
who might be in the chat right now. Eshin, uh, your your story of the Portland, Oregon tunnels has like 40,000 views on TikTok. Congratulations for going viral, Eshin. I'm giving you a tiny clap. Congratulations for going viral, Eshin. You might be in the chat right now. But this is pre-recorded. So we'll mention it again at the end. Pre-recorded, pre-recorded. Um,
Pre-recorded.
we're pre-recorded, but we'll probably be in the chat. So you might still get a hi from us. Something odd happened to me yesterday, Nathan.
What, Tom? What happened to you? Don't make me panic.
Okay. So I went to the grocery store as we all do, as we all have to. I went to the I
Hmm,
actually
hmm.
I took a funny picture. I should have sent it to you. I was planning on sending it to you and Jamie saying I'm doing some shopping. I took a picture of the alcohol aisle to be like I'm just doing some shopping. I took a
High
picture of
West
like
whiskey.
well, I took a picture of like the Budweiser aisle and I was like just doing some grocery shopping. I don't drink, everybody, but I thought it was a funny joke. I just didn't do it.
Secret
But
sipper.
secret sipper. So I went to the grocery store and we got we got our stuff, and then we're in the checkout line, and the counter ahead of us, the line ahead of us, the regular grocery store, people in line, the counter ahead of us, in a sheath on his back, a man was paying for his groceries. He had a gigantic sword.
Oh,
He was carrying like a
Final Fantasy
samurai,
style.
like Final Fantasy style, and this man was carrying a gigantic sword
Did you
slung
get a
over his
picture of this?
shoulder. I didn't, and I should have. And there were just everybody in the store was just going like staring at this guy. And then
The
the
guy's got some
cashier
LARPing to do.
well, the cashier was like, "Oh, it's a nice sword you've got there." And the guy's like, "Yeah, thanks, man. Got to keep it, blah, blah, blah." And then this other guy, after the guy left, this other employee came up and was just like, "Hey, that's illegal. That guy's like carrying a giant sword around this, like on his back
Yeah, if
in the
it's a real
store."
sword, you can't do that. That's a weapon.
I only overheard the cashier, and I don't know how true this is, but the cashier was like, "Are you a cop?" And the guy was like, "No, I work here at this grocery store. What do you mean? I'm not a cop." And
Yeah. Why would a
I don't
cop
know
be
how.
working a register?
Right. And I don't know how true this is. Like I didn't fact check this at all. I don't know if this is a law, but the cashier that checked this guy out was just like, no, as long as it's not a concealed weapon, you could carry it as long as it's like sheathed in its holder. But I was
Hmm.
like, I don't know how true that is. I'm like, this man was carrying like
I
this was
think
like
you're not allowed to have certain size swords. Like if it's
it
like
was like a
actual actually
this was a
sharp. I think it's
full
the same thing as a
this was a
gun.
full side size like samurai katana, like a full size
Yeah.
you could chop somebody's head off sword.
Yeah. There might be a size thing, like, because I know you can carry a knife, I think daggers to an extent, but I think if it gets too big, some states, I don't know, maybe not. You do live kind of where there's wild people, so who
But
knows?
still, like, I mean, I guess it wasn't a concealed weapon, but I've never, like
That means you can just walk around with a sword like this, holding it out. It's like, "I'm not gonna kill you, I promise." But if it was sheathed, it's concealed, or if it's under your shirt where it's safer,
well,
it's
no, 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 I
concealed, it's a little bit backwards.
what the guy was saying and what the cashier was saying is that it's sheathed and he's not, like, using it, like, holding it, like, aggressively. He was
Yeah.
saying that as long as he wasn't, like, trying to, like, intimidate somebody with the sword and it
Oh.
was still visible, like, you could see it,
I
it
thought you were
was
saying if
slung
it's as long
over.
as it's not concealed, because concealed,
Right, he
you
wasn't
can't
concealing it. Like, you could
hide
see that
it.
he had a well, you could see
Yeah.
he had it on his he was wearing it like a ninja or a knight.
Yeah, he's showing it off.
Like, you could see that he had a sword, and as long as he according to him and according to the cashier, as long as you could tell that he had a sword and he wasn't trying to conceal it, that it was fine. And this grocery store, like, which is crazy to me. I don't know if they have this in England. And Jamie, if Jamie is awake, he can chime in on this. This is something that it happens everywhere in grocery stores. It happens in LA, it happens in Oregon, it happens in Massachusetts. Grocery stores have armed security guards in America, and I don't
Yeah,
know if they
everywhere.
have.
Most stores now in America, I see armed security guards. CVS last night, guy had like a bulletproof vest on, and
It's
I
crazy.
walked in with Katie, and I said, "Hey, she's got to take a dump. Where can she do that?" And the guy started laughing, and he was like, "I saw like his weapons on him as he was like laughing at Katie's poop." But yeah, it's
America is a
they're
very
army men now.
it's a very I had never seen that until I moved to the West Coast, and I think then, like, now it's everywhere,
Yeah.
but it was always crazy to me when I first moved out to the West. This is like 2009 or something.
Mm.
It was always crazy to be like, what are they protecting? It's
Yeah, it
like
used to be just like jewelry stores would have stuff like that, and now it's everything,
they're
everywhere.
guarding Whole Foods supplement
Well,
aisle.
it's because there's shootings everywhere all the time now. Like, it's a necessity to have someone there to shoot the crazy person, and it's a real
Well,
shame and a bummer.
I
And
mean,
it's a bigger conversation that we probably shouldn't get
yeah,
into,
bigger
but yeah,
conversation.
it stinks.
I mean, I'll say specifically the store that I worked in, which it was very tragic, and I felt I feel like let the people just take stuff. Who cares? Because it's like these people like, but 99% of like the quote unquote crime that these security guards stopped at the store that I worked in, it
Mhm.
was just like people taking a supplement to like then like return it for like so they could buy like groceries or
Oh yeah,
whatever,
make money.
and would they just need money. And it's like I think that that speaks more to like the people in America just don't have money, and it's like who
Yeah,
cares if this corporation is losing money?
yeah. It's hard to have sympathy for them.
No, I don't have any like, and it's like I don't have any sympathy for it. It's like just let them take the stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have any sympathy for the if Amazon loses money, I don't have any sympathy about it. I'm like, well, this multi-billion dollar, trillion dollar company is losing money. I don't have any sympathy about it. I have sympathy for the people that need you know what I mean? It's like, is it okay to steal a loaf of bread? Of course it is. If you're hungry, you should be able to get food. All right, let's get into some stories.
Oh, good thing you just said that because I have a story, Tom.
Oh,
Have you heard about the man who was charged with theft after allegedly swallowing a Fabergé egg, which is a
I have.
jewel?
I have, but tell
You
me about
have.
it.
Wow. All right. Well, I just heard about it the other day, and it's on CNN. On the website, it says in New Zealand, the police have charged a man with theft after he allegedly stole a jewel encrusted in gold. It's a Fabergé locket from a jeweler's by picking it up and swallowing it. Okay, I'm reading this really weird, but you get the gist. The unusual incident occurred on Friday afternoon at a store in central Auckland, according to a statement from Inspector Gray Anderson, Auckland Central Area Commander at New Zealand Police, said to CNN. 32-year-old man is charged with theft for eating this thing. It's a gold egg with an octopus inside, and I think, as far as I believe, from what I've read, it's it's supposed to be something from a James Bond movie from Octopussy. The stolen item is a Fabergé James Bond Octopussy egg locket worth 33,000 New Zealand dollars. It's about $20,000 here in America, according to the court documents. That's what they say. So yeah, this dude stole an egg from a jeweler and swallowed it, and um, the stolen egg is still not found at this moment. It's still like at large, I guess, because it's in his bowels. So
But have they considered that he was just hungry?
yeah, I mean, he might have just thought it was an egg or like a Cadbury egg, and maybe they should have some sympathy for hungry people out there. So yeah,
So crazy. So yeah, so crazy. So he was arrested. He was a.
yes.
I'm reading this now. So this man was charged with theft, remanded in custody, and according to this, he's had his day in court as of this past few weeks. That's
Hmm.
crazy. I don't know.
And the cop says, "At this stage, the pendant has not been recovered." And I can only assume that means because it's in the guy's bowels
Right.
still.
I assume at this point it's been a few weeks. It presumably is passed by this point. Would you want to be the cop that has to fish through this man's poop to get this
I was
Fabergé egg?
I was just picturing that. The guy's probably in prison and he's on guard. And every time he takes a dump, they probably have to be there to fish it out in case he tries to flush it or do something with it, and they have to recover this egg. So
Right.
no, I would not want to be that cop. The cop is like basically doing hospice care and janitor care at the same
What
time.
if the what if this guy is really fast and like just flushes the toilet? Then there's no evidence. They can't prove that he swallowed it.
Or he poops it and eats it again, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta wait another 24
Right.
hours."
And then they let him go because it's actually just super gross that he's
They're like,
eating a
"Okay,
poop
this is
egg.
demented. You please leave. We don't care anymore. It's only
Right,
twenty thousand dollars."
they just get rid of it. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
crazy. Could you imagine that this is what and I know that prison is prison. Prison is horrible. Like being
Mhm.
locked away in a cage is horrible no matter where you are. I do know that prison in other countries that's not America, and part of that is because America is a privatized prison system, and anything private, and I'm quite certain that if people in America know what I'm talking about with private healthcare. Anytime you privatize something and there's a business that's generating a profit, those businesses want things to be done as cheaply as humanly possible.
Yeah,
um
yeah.
Prison in America is particularly horrible because there's less resources, because the it's business. So the
Yeah.
businesses want to make money off of these people being in prison. Prison is horrible no matter where you are. I don't know how prison is in New Zealand. Maybe it's better. But how would you feel being in prison because you swallowed a Fabergé egg from a James Bond? Not even one of was that a Roger Moore James Bond movie? Was that a Sean
I
Connery?
don't remember. I think it was Sean Connery was in Octopussy. I don't remember though. I think that was a '70s one, so maybe
At
Sean
least it
Connery.
wasn't a George Lazenby or a Timothy Dalton.
All I know is Daniel Craig, the best James Bond.
Daniel Craig. No, I think that all the James Bonds have been pretty good. I know that
Pierce Brosnan was pretty good.
Pierce Brosnan was good. Roger Moore was good up until My only gripe with Roger, and this is now going into side tangent territory. My only
Mhm.
gripe with Roger Moore is that he got to be quite old. I think he was already an older
I
James
can't
Bond
even
when he was
picture this
cast.
person. All I remember is Sean Connery, then 007, then GoldenEye, which is Pierce Brosnan because of Nintendo
You
64,
skipped over all the other James
and then I
Bonds.
remember Daniel Craig. So really, it's just Daniel Craig and Nintendo 64, James Bond.
I'm pretty sure if I was to go through all the James Bonds, it was Sean Connery. Then it was, I think it was 1967, maybe, was George Lazenby. George Lazenby only did one movie. Then it was Roger Moore. Then it was Timothy Dalton. Oh no, that first it was Roger Moore. But then during Roger Moore's tenure, Sean Connery came back for a James Bond movie called Never Say Never Again, which was like a one-off. And then after that, it was Timothy Dalton. Then it was Pierce Brosnan. Then it was Daniel Craig. Now it's question mark.
That's crazy that you even know that. You know all of them. You watch the James Bond movies?
I like James Bond. Yeah.
Yeah, I like James Bond too, but I don't know all the actors. I only remember
I
like
mean, that's just
two.
I. I mean, I also think that I know that you're a film guy, but I think I watch more of I think I watch more a little bit more of everything. And I
Yeah.
think I retain a lot more of like the like
Well,
typically I can
yeah,
remember
you're
the
Tom Clopedia. You remember everything,
Mhm.
all the details. I
Who
don't
would you want?
understand how it fits in there.
I don't quite frankly, I have no idea either. I've got more well, it's like Albert Einstein. They said that when Albert I'm comparing myself to Albert Einstein. When Albert Einstein died, I don't know if you know this. When Albert Einstein died, they wanted to figure out what was so special about his brain. So
Mhm.
they biopsied it to be like, we need to study this man's brain to see to see
How it fits so much information.
how it fits so much more information in. And they found that his brain was identical to a regular brain, but it was more wrinkled.
Oh, well, that's
And
why
those,
where the term smooth brain comes from. If you don't have wrinkles, it means you're probably pretty dumb.
right. Albert Einstein had a very wrinkled brain and like he had more neurons and stuff firing off because of it. So they think that the more yeah, but yeah, like that's where I think where that term if you're a smooth
We
brain,
gotta
you're not
see between the two of us. We should get an MRI and see who has more wrinkles in our brains.
that'll be a future goal.
That's a
We got to
sub goal. If we get
we'll
like
do it.
400 members, then we get
Uh-huh.
MRIs to see who's the smartest
We can pay the whatever it is $300. It's like, oh, what did you guys spend $600 on? It's like, oh, we went and got MRIs
to see who's smarter.
to see whose brain has more wrinkled to see who's more similar to Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
Um,
I had
and
an
I
MRI a couple years ago for boxing because if you're over 40 and you're doing a professional boxing match, you have to get an MRI because they need to test your brain and your heart, EKG and MRI. So I wonder if I could look at my MRI and see how wrinkled it is. It's probably like too
I
wrinkled. It's probably you can't even see the brain. It's just like a wave of ripples. It's like a Ruffles chip. That's what you see in my head. It's just a Ruffles chip right here.
I
And Tom's
I
got
think
a
that your
marble.
I think that your brain is probably more similar to like a Dorito.
Ooh, Cool Ranch.
Cool. Yeah, not mine's like a mine is like a hot and spicy Cheeto.
Yours is one of
Yours
those, Andes chips, those, spicy things. What are those
mine is
stick they look like a Cheeto, but it's spicy?
my brain is circus peanuts.
Ooh, the marshmallows?
Yeah,
That's what oh, that's my favorite candy,
the
marshmallow circus
candy that
peanuts, and if you
the
don't
candy
agree,
that
you're wrong.
it's just you and like 90-year-old grandmas that like that candy.
I'll say this, this better not get certified odd by the commenters if this becomes a clip, but I will say the greatest candies are black licorice, circus peanut marshmallows, and
Mhm.
those brown caramel bullseye things. There's the cow tails, which are the longer versions, and then the originals are like the little caramel with nougat in the middle candies. Bullseyes, I think they're called. Bullseyes, black licorice, yellow marshmallow circus peanuts. Best candy ever.
Your taste in candy is hideous.
I have boomer lips, boomer tongue.
I I don't quite understand. This is also a true story for anybody who's watching this right now. Nathan is technically allergic to flavor.
What? Don't we
Nathan is
can't this is such a side tangent episode.
yeah, but
No, I love
this is what
flavor. That's
this is
what
what the people want. The people want the side tangents. They want the inside. They
This
want
is
the hot.
Bob's
They want
argument.
They
They
want the
say
hot goss. They
all my
want
friends say
the
I don't
inside
like
scoop.
flavor.
You
My friends are
don't. You
idiots. They say,
absolutely don't like
I'll
flavor.
prove you wrong right now. This is
How?
why I like flavor. Everyone says I don't like flavor because I
You
don't put
don't.
ranch dressing. I don't put
You don't put
spicy
any
sauce.
condiment
I
on
don't put
anything.
anything. Because I like flavor. Therefore, I don't hide my food. The flavor of a carrot, already perfect. Cucumber, already perfect. Why would I need to add stuff to it when the food itself tastes amazing? So I eat the flavor of the vegetable and of the food I'm eating. I don't need to hide it in this artificial goop that you guys dump on everything. You don't like flavor. I like flavor.
I
I'm
love
Mother
flavor.
Nature's angel, and I'm out there
No.
sniffing the greens, eating all the grass like I should. And you guys are eating fabricated flavors.
So
I'm the
I
true
will
taster.
I will push on this and I will say uh first of all, you've said many times you wish you didn't have to eat any food and you had like a paste and you just didn't have to
Well,
think about food
that
ever
has nothing to
again.
do with flavor. That's because
You don't
eating is
enjoy
a
food.
nuisance.
You
It's a
don't
waste of
like
time.
food. You don't
It's
yeah,
not that I don't
exactly.
like food. I
You go, it's a
enjoy it when
waste
I
of
eat it,
time. I don't want
but
to eat. I don't like
I
flavor.
can also like doing anything, but if I think it's a waste of time, I don't need to do something just because I like it. I would rather not do something. I will prevent myself from doing something I like to get other things done because I'm an optimal optimist and I will go out and do what it takes to accomplish more things. I will sacrifice pleasure and left all day, all the time. I don't care. I go without things all the time. I don't need pleasure. I
Because you're a
like
masochist.
I think eating takes too much time. You have to prepare it. You have to chew it. Chewing is so slow. Then you have to eat it, and then you go take a dump.
You don't
I just
like
want
eating
food to
food.
be
You don't like eating.
because I like I don't like things that take forever. I like because I'm sitting there eating, thinking, "Oh my god, I just want to go and finish this video. Oh my god, I just want to go and do this thing. I want to go ride my bike. I have to eat this stupid food. I want to get to the joyous thing and get the dumb life-sustaining activities out of the way. Sleeping is annoying. Drinking water is annoying. Eating is annoying. I do all of them, and I do them a plenty amount so that my body is optimal. But I can still admit that it is annoying to do. Just because something feels good doesn't mean it's not annoying.
The
It's
other
pointless.
the
You do it
other
every
piece
day,
of
you get bored with it.
I never get if somebody presents me with like a well plated, delicious, like oh here's your dish, sir, and it's like I go to a restaurant, it's like well plated, and it's like a whole sensory experience, and the flavors are great, and like this thing matches with this thing, and it's very tasty. I will savor and enjoy every ounce of that experience, and everything about it is an enjoyable thing. I think you
That's
don't
smooth
enjoy
brain activity.
it's not that wrinkle brain activity.
I no smooth brain. I want to sit here, be lethargic, and chew on things all day and look at my nice forks. No, I'm up
The
there getting stuff done as you're sniffing and licking.
no, you want to go. You're like, well, I don't want to have any flavor. I want to scratch my butt and smack these rocks together.
No, I want to go on an adventure and get stuff done and accomplish my goals and dreams.
The
Chewing takes
other
forever.
the other piece of evidence. This is another odd piece of evidence. Exhibit B. Nathan, when he goes to Veggie Grill, because I've seen this so many times, you go to Veggie Grill all the time. You order the chicken sandwich with nothing on it. It's just the bun
It
and
comes
chicken.
with stuff on it. It comes with
You don't like
guacamole.
any of it. I've seen you order it with you're like no pickles, no sauce, no any. You're like just the
He's making
bun.
things up. You are actually lying. That is
I've
untrue. I
definitely
get it
seen you.
as is. The only thing I take off is the spicy peppers because I
Gotta
don't
have the
like
spicy pep.
spicy
That's part of
things.
the experience.
I don't know. You can also get a version without spicy. You can have it your way. But that. I don't want to eat spicy food, so I say, "Take off the peppers, please," and they say, "Sure," and I eat it
What's your okay?
with all the
What are your
guac and all the other stuff on it.
okay? So we've determined that your taste in candy is hideous. What are your three favorite foods?
Pancakes. If you're gonna do the ultimate setup, pancakes with strawberries and syrup, and then my number two favorite food, gnocchi. I love gnocchi, and I don't know what my number three would be.
Veggie grilled
Pudding,
chicken sandwich.
chocolate pudding. I love pudding.
I guess all
So
those
I
things are
like
all those.
flavor. I just if someone said, "Hey, you can have pudding forever," I'd say if they said you can have pudding forever, all you can eat, or you never have to eat again and you won't die, I would choose don't eat again because I could get so much more done. I would sacrifice flavor because I don't care about pleasure. I care about getting stuff done.
So to go all the way back to our story, would you eat a $32,000 Fabergé egg?
If oh yeah, gosh, this was an hour ago we were talking about that. Yes, if I thought I was gonna get away with it, like I'm guessing this criminal did, he probably thought, "Oh, this is easy. I'll swallow the egg. They'll never know where it is. I'll walk out of here." It was actually a pretty good theft plan if that's what he was doing. I
Mhm.
would if I thought I'd get away with it, yeah, but I wouldn't if I thought I was gonna go to jail and then a cop would have to do my poopy.
Fair enough. Well, certified. Nathan doesn't like flavor.
You're an idiot.
Uh-huh. Let's go to the next story. Uh Nathan, I've got a very unusual story for you on this one. Did you
Uh
know that in England, apparently it is illegal to spit out leaves?
What is this one of those like weird, like can't carry an ice cream cone in your back pocket on Sunday type crimes? You hear
I
about that?
it could
The
be. I don't
weird
know if
old
Jamie wants
laws that they have.
I, I don't know if Jamie wants to chime in on this ever. I don't know if this is like a common English thing, but there was an 86-year-old man named Roy Marsh who was fined over $300 in England for littering because he spit a leaf out of his it blew into his mouth. Nature blew this leaf into his mouth and he spit the leaf out as a human being would do if a leaf blows into your mouth. Blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, a leaf blew in my mouth. I spit it out. The what is it? The bobbies, is that what they called? The Scotland Yard showed up and fined this man $300.
Maybe they thought he was spitting on the ground and it's rude to spit like on Parliament or whatever property he was on or something. Also, maybe he doesn't like vegetables. He didn't want to just eat a little bit of salad. But also, how can it be littering when it's nature? Nature isn't littering. You can throw leaves on the ground and it's not littering. It's artificial, man-made things that is considered littering. So maybe England doesn't like leaves.
I
This
don't
is very odd. This whole thing is odd.
This is a crazy story. So the guy's name is Roy, and also this is an 86-year-old man. They're finding an 86-year-old. Listen, I thought that America was bad. I take it all back. England is
Yeah.
hell on earth. I can't I
I don't
can't
know.
I
I
can't
don't
I
want to know
can't
what
support
happens
this.
if a fly flies in your mouth and you spit out the fly. You probably get beheaded.
Imagine if you did like donuts or something in your car. They'd fire a rocket launcher at you or something.
Yeah,
So
or if you actually spit out trash, like a straw wrapper or something,
or yeah
you're
or
dead. You're going to the
you're yeah you're
guillotine.
you're dead. They're gonna put C4 on you and blow you up or something.
The
So
queen's gonna behead you.
right, the Prince or King Charles, I guess he's not even Prince Charles anymore. Prince or King, I keep saying Prince. King Charles is going to declare this a national tragedy or something. So
Mhm.
this is an 86-year-old man, Roy Marsh. He's from Lincolnshire, England. Uh, fined the equivalent of $300, and he says, as I'll do this in my top British accent. As I was sitting there, a gale blew a big reed into my mouth. I spat it out, and just as I got up to walk away, two enforcement officers came up to me. That was probably really bad.
I was going to
I
say,
feel
is
like we
that a
should.
British accent or a Boston attempt? What's going on there?
I don't know what that
Jamie,
was.
Jamie, do you want to read that? You're British. Do you want to read this? Do you want to be the old man?
Sure. Hold on, let me get the article then. Let me get where is it in the doc? Is that where we're looking?
It is in the doc. But yeah, basically this guy, he spit out a leaf, and then they
Spit
find
out a
him.
leaf.
They find
British
I
man
love
for
this part.
spitting out leaf.
So the officer saw him spit the leaf out onto the floor, which led to the elderly man. So the police came over, spoke to him about this, and the old man called the police officer a silly boy. And then they find him.
Wow.
Wow, incredible. All right.
Do you want to read this? You could read this
So
part.
this
for
is the
clip.
quote here. What he said. Okay.
Yep.
Oh wait, what the heck? Somebody just refreshed. There we go. All right. As I was sitting there, a gale blew a big reed into my mouth. I spat it out, and just as I got up to walk away, two policemen came up to me. It was all
you wanna give-
unnecessary and all out of proportion, Marsh said from the BBC, which is also
Do you want to
British.
give us a nice clean silly boy?
Silly boy. Silly
Well,
boy.
yeah,
I don't know
it's
how you
not-
do a silly boy because that's from.
Silly boy.
It said Lincolnshire, so Lincolnshire's like north. So it's not like a Be like silly boy or so. What is that'd be just? I don't know. It's just so weird to hear a northerner say silly boy. It's just
I saw this story and it was crazy. And apparently, a city councilor from the Lincolnshire County Council told the BBC that similar complaints of the police in that area kind of overstepping their authority have now surfaced, and saying that the enforcement officers are taking it too far. There needs to be discretion about how they issue fines. If it looks like a genuine accident, then give the people the opportunity to apologize and pick it up. So apparently, this is an epidemic that's happening in the Lincolnshire county of England, where these enforce. Do they not call them police there? They keep referring to them as enforcement officers. Apparently, the enforcement officers of this area are giving out fines left and right,
well, it
and
depends what kind
they're
of
just
police it is, I guess. So I think if it might not actually be police. It might be just people in the area. You know, like you know how there's obviously people who check for people parking in the wrong area. There might be it might be something else. That's the only reason I can assume they're not using police specifically.
it's still like I can only think this, like, if this is happening all the time, if you saw an old man, like, so let's just say for the sake of argument, they just assumed that this man was just spitting on the ground or whatever, and apparently that's
Mm.
illegal in England. Apparently, is that illegal in England to spit on the ground? Apparently it is.
I
Um,
think in some places in America it is too.
it's so weird.
I
I've
remember that in
never
the
heard of this
90s, you could get
before.
in trouble for spitting.
Well,
It's a
regardless. Oh,
I was
good.
just gonna say it is usually just down to people reading too into the law literally to either get some
Yeah.
money out of someone else because they might get a cut or something in that area. I'm not sure how that person would be, because especially if they're not police and they're a private company, they will be looking for any excuse to get money out of someone, and they'll be using the law very literally to fine people. There was actually a story. It was years ago, to be honest. I was really young when I heard it, but there was literally a documentary about it. It was like a guy that was really bad. This is in Britain, who was so strict as a what are they called? They're like traffic. You know those people who monitor car parking places and then fine you and clamp you if you
Parking
pass it
enforcement?
if you park in
Yeah,
it.
just
Yeah,
like a parking
whatever
enforcement
they were
guy.
called. This guy became so infamous that a documentary came on about him, of how picky he was in his parking area. A guy got clamped because his
gosh.
parking ticket was upside down.
That's so dumb. That's unfair.
Claimed it was hard to read, and he came back with a clamped car.
That guy is just a jerk and doesn't want to turn his head.
Yeah,
That's
I
so
think
Right.
unfair.
I assume he probably gets a share of every person he finds, so that's probably what he was doing. And
Well, this is
stealing
like,
money from people.
I mean, like, I've had a similar incident where this is while we were filming something for Project Earth, and I parked in a parking lot that I had permission from the manager of the business to park in this parking lot. They were like, this is where we usually do our loading and unloading. And it was a paid parking area, but they were like, you should be fine to park here. And then, we'll just say like you're part of the business or whatever. And one of these parking enforcement guys came over. I was literally getting stuff like out of the car. I was near the car and I saw this guy, the parking guy, and I was like, oh, I have permission from the business, but if I need to move, like I'll, whatever, I'll move. And the guy was like, oh, I already started writing you the ticket. They're sorry. And I was like, but I'm right here. I can move. And the guy was like, I already started typing in the thing, and I
Sorry,
got
I'm doing what I shouldn't have done. You can't stop me now that I already started.
right.
Okay.
But like that goes to something like this where it's like have some human compassion, have some like decency. And I kind of got into this guy's face a little bit because I was just like, I'm right here. I will move the
And you're
car.
allowed to be there.
Right. This was like, I get
That's
it
the
that the guy
main
was like,
thing.
well, the guy was like, this is a paid parking area. And I was like, oh, well, this business told me that I could park here, but if I have to move, I'll move. But the guy was like, oh, I already have my little keypad thing and I already started typing your thing. And I was like, you can't just cancel it. And the guy was like, nope.
He
And
doesn't. No, of course they can. 100%.
he totally could. This guy's getting paid $15 an hour. And like I get it that this guy's got a miserable job
And they
and
probably have a
people probably
quota
yell
they
at him.
make them hit.
Right, they have like a quota, and this guy probably does not enjoy his job. But like, have some human decency, and I think that that goes to, and that's in America, but that goes to this guy too, where like once those police started like explain like, oh, we're gonna have to give you a ticket, the guy was like, I'm sure that the old man was like, I got a leaf in my mouth, I was just spitting it out. They still gave him a
It's
ticket
insane.
for
It's insane.
$300.
That's like unbelievable that that happened to that man. That's like going outside and go, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I should breathe because I might get a ticket for exhaling. Like
Crazy.
this is insane. This is like this beyond dystopian police state. This is
I would say this is
ridiculous.
certified. This
It's
is
like a prank
certified.
show.
This is certified outrage. Justice for Roy Marsh.
Yeah, big time.
This man should not. I don't know if you're in Lincolnshire County. Write your city council and say, do not charge this man. This is an 86-year-old man. This man was around during World War II times. Like, you're charging this man $300 for spitting a leaf out of his mouth. Crazy.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Anyway,
Wow.
I just realized
Okay.
this is British. Is it $300 or 300 pounds?
they
Probably
said it was
pounds.
it was the equivalent of three. It was the
Oh,
equivalent of
okay.
$300. Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
I was gonna say because if it was 300 pounds, then that's $500. So it would have been way more.
Wow.
This was in Yahoo News, so I think it was translated. They did say that it was reduced. I'm looking at the bottom of it here. They reduced the fee to $200, but it's still $200. That's a lot of money. Like, don't charge him anything. Don't be like, oh well, if a leaf blows into your mouth, eat it next time.
It's gotta swallow it. Nature wants you to have it. You can't go against Mother Nature.
They called this they said that the enforcement officers would only approach individuals who had been committing environmental crime offenses. And like, yeah, this is crazy. It's like I'm looking at like this, and I'm looking further down. This man is like, I'm like outraged about this entire situation. The guy's daughter, Jane Marsh Fitzpatrick, this old man has difficulties walking. He has severe asthma and a heart condition, and he just spit a leaf out. And like, so this is a man who's like in his twilight years. He's out for a walk because he's like just doing his best,
Mm.
and a leaf blew into his mouth, and he had to cough it out. They charged him money. This is crazy.
It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make any sense. Must have been
Whoever
just
this
some guy having a bad day and just wanted to be a jerk. That's the only explanation.
whoever this enforcement person, this is like what do they say? This is like tiny dick energy. Like,
Yeah.
for sure. Whoever wrote this old man a ticket, this is like extreme small penis energy. It's like, use some decency, use some compassion to be like what they couldn't just say, hey, don't spit out next time.
They also
Have a
could have
nice
just not done anything because there's nothing needed to be said at all or done at all. You just don't do anything. You don't have
Yeah.
to have some decency. You just have to be a normal human, therefore not have a thought about it. It shouldn't even have been something that was even
This shouldn't have even been
acknowledged.
this shouldn't have been a story that even came across my desk.
No. It shouldn't have been a thing that exists on Earth. It's
No.
insane.
And I'm sure like, obviously, like stuff like this happens all over the world, where I think the police or some sort of like law enforcement agency oversteps their bounds. But yeah, come
Yeah.
on. Refund this man's money. Justice for Roy Marsh. Sorry, sir.
Yep. Oops.
I apologize on behalf of the King of England. So does Jamie.
Wow. Well, in lighter
Uh,
news, I have a story for
yes.
you. Tom,
Hit me with it. Yes,
did
Nathan.
you know that Kim Kardashian has low brain activity, according to a doctor?
What? This is the most shocking news I've ever heard. Kim
Surprise!
Kim Kardashian is smooth brained?
Yep. Speaking of smooth brains, we got a real
Wow.
famous one on our hands.
Wow.
The story goes like this. Kim Kardashian learns she has low brain activity after getting a scan. The front part, this is a quote from the doctor, the front part of your brain is less active than it should be. Dr. Daniel Amen told Kardashian on the latest episode of her show. So she had a brain aneurysm and she went in to again get an MRI and get her brain scanned. And the doctor told her that there's holes in her brain, which are spots where there's no activity. And particularly in the front part of her brain, there's low activity.
I can't
pretty
believe
pretty shocking
I
that
can't
this
believe
woman
that
isn't
our
a genius.
I can't believe that Kim Kardashian isn't like Albert Einstein.
Yeah, I'm surprised. But he did say to her, "You have a beautiful brain." So, he thinks
Pretty
her
sure
brain
that
is
at that point
beautiful.
this was on their television show. This is on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I assume. So this
Yeah.
is on their television show. She's also, I mean, she's a billionaire, I think, at this point.
Yeah, she's so
What
rich.
else are you gonna say to Like, you got to this is softening the blow. It's like, oh yeah, you're kind of dumb, but hey, you got a nice looking brain.
Yep. He also said he revealed that Kardashian does not have high risk of Alzheimer's disease. He said she's not too terribly stressed, not anxious, not depressed, based on the scan. You are extremely extraordinary in being positive, he said. However, he did note that he saw holes in her brain scan photo, which indicates low activity. The front part of your brain is less active than it should be. With your frontal lobes as they work now, it would be harder to manage stress, and that's not good for you, especially as you're studying and you're getting ready to take the boards. Oh, she must be doing some sort of a big test.
I mean,
And
it
then she
sounds like
said,
if she's going to take the boards, is she trying to be a lawyer? Is Kim Kar- Are we going to
maybe.
get Kim Kar- are we going to get the Kim Kardashian lawyer arc happening soon?
Oh, maybe. Oh my God. Is that she gonna why would she be a lawyer? Just something to do? Challenge herself? Do something different?
I don't you watch all that reality TV junk. You don't watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
I don't watch reality TV. The only reality, well, I don't
You
even
watch
watch
you watch
reality.
F Boy Island.
Oh, I did watch that during the pandemic, one season of that show, and I did watch. Um,
I will say you and Siobhan watched all that stuff
I
together,
watched
didn't you?
Kardashians with Siobhan. Yeah, she got me into that in 2012, but we watched
Yeah.
like one season. Courtney was my favorite. I liked her. She was funny.
The only
Kim
thing
Kardashian's sister.
I mean, obviously, like we've all heard the big stories about the Kardashian. I'm not going to rehash all of these, because there's been so many, I guess, like public controversies and public talk about the Kardashians. Something that I always thought was interesting about the Kardashians is that, which was it, Courtney, that was just married or dating the guy from Blink 182? I don't think they're together
She still
anymore, aren't
is.
they?
I think they still are. That's Courtney. She is now married to Travis Barker, the drummer from Blink 182.
I
My
think
friend
they're not
Brendan
together anymore.
directed a bunch of stuff with them in it.
I think they're not together anymore. I
Oh,
thought I
maybe.
saw
Maybe that's like
I,
the new news, but a couple months ago I saw them together in
the funny
something.
the funniest clip, and this could be like a clip for the for the internet. Did you see the clip of it was for their show, and it was like Courtney and Travis is still like pretty involved in like the punk and hardcore scene, and
Mm.
he took her to a hardcore show.
Oh,
And it's
really?
just but it's like outside and there's like not a ton of people there, and it's like this band, it's like a hard, and she's just sitting there going like, wow,
Like an
yeah,
actual
wow,
indie hardcore band?
like an actual dun 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 dun,
Oh,
dun,
yeah.
dun. And
Some
she's just
Judd
going,
Judd mosh stuff?
wow, okay, wow. And Travis is like sitting there checking out the band, and she's like, well, and she's wearing like, like a black hoodie and like trying to
Yeah,
look
yeah.
like, and like, cause he's like, oh, you got to look tough
Look
at
the
the
part.
hardcore show. But I saw this clip and I was like, oh my God. But he took her to a hardcore show.
Wow. I mean, cool. Broadening horizons, checking out some
I,
new cultures, some
I mean,
subcultures.
I'm like 1,000% sure that this was so content for their, like,
Oh, yeah. Everything is for content for
part
them.
of part of me, and my condolences for your low brain activity, Kim Kardashian.
I thought you were talking to
Hopefully
me.
you hopefully well, I mean,
I
we'll see.
did too.
We'll
I
see.
was like, that's a bit
Like, wait a
harsh,
second.
Tom. That was
What
why
the
you
heck?
beat me.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
That won't keep me up.
That
Well,
woke me
I
up. I
mean-
was like, wait, what? What?
Well-
What did Nathan do?
we haven't had the MRIs yet. You, for all
I had
we
my
know, you.
MRI. Just like Trump, my brain is beautiful. I aced it. I aced my MRI.
I will say you're comparing yourself to Trump. Finally,
Yeah, I'm a genius. He's not.
you're just. Can you wait? Can you remember these words, Nathan? Man, woman, camera, television.
Yeah?
Okay, repeat them back to me.
Telemamrin.
Trump is smarter than you. It's confirmed.
Who?
Sorry, Donald Trump is smarter than you.
Where am I?
He remembered all of these things. Apparently, according to him.
Oh, that makes
No,
him
what
smart.
what I was going to say is that it is very sad, I feel, that all their lives, the Kardashians in general, which is like, hey, if they're happy doing this, whatever, but their entire life is just content. So like Courtney
Yeah.
going to this hardcore show, Travis was on board with it because like there was a camera crew present, but their entire life is what can I do to get content for our reality show? They
Yeah,
probably have
seems
camera
like it'd
crews
be
with them.
exhausting.
It's 24 hours a day or however long the crew is
whenever
there.
they're
For the,
filming their season, I bet you they have a lot more free time than like live streamers on Twitch and stuff. Like
Maybe, yeah.
XQC is all about the content, but the Kardashians only do a season every year or so, and they probably only have so many shoot days. There's only like 12 episodes. It's probably a lot less than you think. So
yeah, it still
you know.
makes me a little like, yes, they're rich, but it's like at what cost? Because
But
they're
you gotta
constantly
look at
like,
that
this would be
show is the same
content.
thing. It's the same thing as filming a scripted television show, in my opinion. You show up, there's these fabricated storylines. Oh, you're mad at your sister today because she forgot to bring you your ring. It's like just silly, dumb drama that they make up just because people just want to watch them live their lives and do things. But it's not real. So I would, if I was them, I would be thinking of this as like, I'm showing up to act today. It's not even real life, you know? They're acting
Yeah,
in public,
I guess that's
basically.
I guess that's true. But wow,
So.
crazy. Kim
But yeah,
K.
Kim Kardashian is a smooth brain, confirmed.
R R.I.P. R.I.P.
Certified.
Well, I've got
Not surprised.
certified shocker of the year right there.
Yep.
Kim K. We're gonna have to do that goal. Speaking of everybody, we should remind everybody, in case anybody's just tuning into this right now, we're not actually here. We're not actually live. This is a pre-recorded episode. It is live if you're watching it. It is a live broadcast of this VOD, but we are not. We might be in the chat right now. So if we do
that's
we
gonna
might be in the chat.
confusing.
It is because we'll be in the chat, but we're not actually here on stream. But if you'd like to support more Odd Boys, and hopefully our marathon has been a resounding success so that we can keep the show going long into the future. If you'd like to keep the show going, please consider becoming a member. It really does help us a lot. Or please consider, we'll probably have a super chat goal to complete. Maybe we could do something like that to complete when we're actually live the next time.
Yeah.
But please consider leaving a super chat or a membership or a Ko-Fi. It does really help us a lot, so we would appreciate it.
YouTube members and Ko-Fi members, which is basically Patreon. That's a very good way to support if you want to keep this going. We're planning on trying to do it all through this year, all through 2026, doing a whole other year. We did 6 months. Half of 2025 was Odd Boys. That's when it began, and now let's keep it going forever. Thank you, everyone who does watch.
Thank you, everybody. Well, I've got a story. I've got a story for you, Nathan. I've got a certified odd story for you.
Yes, finally.
Okay. Now, Nathan, I need you to close your eyes and picture this. Are your eyes closed?
Uh-huh.
You're in Florida.
Oh.
You love Florida. What do you mean? I thought you
Oh.
would go, Florida.
Well, certain parts.
Certain parts. Okay, well, you're in. Okay, now, let's be specific then. You're in Volusia County, Florida.
Oh, sounds fancy.
It does. It's very fancy. You're in Volusia County, Florida, where you've just encountered a man who claims he teleported into a stolen BMW after leading police in a high speed chase, reaching speeds of over 100 miles per hour.
Whoa. It sounds like a basic day in Florida to me.
Well, we've got a I don't know if Jamie has the video of it. We've got a video of the man on police body camera footage. Apparently, this man, do I have his name? His name is I do. His name is Calvin Curtis Johnson, age 36, who denies that he stole this car and led police on a high-speed pursuit. He claims that he was teleported into the car and the car stole itself.
I love this. This is one of the best Florida man stories I've ever heard already. That's
This is
so
a great
funny. Not taking credit for the crime. Nope. I was teleported here. I don't know how I
No.
got in here. Crap.
I didn't steal the car. It was I was teleported into the stolen vehicle as it was moving at over 100 miles per hour. Calvin Curtis Johnson,
I
American,
believe
and
him.
then I believe him. Do we have
We
do we
do.
have a video of that, Jamie? We
I'll
do.
pull it up.
This is incredible.
Surprised you haven't used the line, Jamie. Pull that up.
Jamie, pull that up. We should
Jamie,
just get a
pull that
couple of
down.
clean ones of that. Hey, we should get a couple of those just to have it. Jamie, pull that up.
There you go.
Jamie, Paul, that up.
Perfect. All right. All right.
What? Oh, I got in the car. I don't know. I teleported or something.
Where'd you get the car from?
I don't know. I don't know.
You
It's
come from
Calvin.
the beach side?
I don't know. I teleported.
Well, there you saw it. There you heard it. New at 6 o'clock. What you just heard was a suspected car thief claiming he teleported into the car. All of this happening in Volusia County on the state's east coast. The owner saying the car was stolen when he was walking his dog. We also heard from a witness who claims he saw the car get stolen.
Who'd you see get into it?
It was a guy probably maybe 30 years old. It wasn't his car.
No.
Oh, I kept looking at him because he asked me if I had light. I was like, there's no way he drives a BMW.
Would
And unfortunately, the car crashing a short time later after reportedly traveling upwards of 100 miles an hour. The suspect, 35-year-old Calvin Curtis Johnson, was being treated at an area hospital. He was then taken on charges of grand theft of a motor vehicle and driving with a suspended license.
So, what do you
Police
think,
still
Nathan?
looking into why-
Do you think he actually just teleported, or is this a case of mistaken identity, or is this a true Florida man story?
I think this guy is another victim like the British Leaf man. The cops are way out of line. This guy was just walking down the road, minding his own business when poof, oh crap, I'm in a BMW. I don't drive a BMW. As you could say here, that
As the
citizen said,
BMW is driving itself at speeds of over 100 miles an hour.
BMWs are fancy now. They're expensive. They can self-drive like all these cars now. That guy said, oh, he didn't look like the kind of guy that drove a BMW because he wasn't. This guy didn't want to be in this BMW. It stole him, teleported, and then crashed him into it. This is a big setup. This is unfair. I feel bad for this guy. He needs to be set free. With justice for the teleported.
So it sounds like you do think that he did teleport into the car, and that he's
Yeah, he sounded like
he's
he's
got
telling
these-
the truth.
he has
said
these
it himself. He
fantastic
said,
abilities.
I was teleported.
he wasn't on drugs or anything.
No, I didn't see him doing drugs. You would have seen him doing this. That's what doing drugs is, and I didn't see him do that. So
Do you don't think that he is that you with the doobie?
that's me with Dewey. Hang on, I'm locking my camera. I have to do my cool hand signal. There it is. Boom.
Speaking
it
of
won't move anymore.
Speaking of doobies,
Yeah,
do you remember?
when you do,
do you remember?
when you do doobies? You go like
do you
this.
remember when you? Do you remember when you had a doobie? Do you remember when you had a doobie chocolate?
I ate a doobie, and it was the worst decision of my life, and I'll never do something like that again. It was literally
Would you-
horrible. I don't know if I want to talk about this. I have post traumatic stress from that. I ate weed
You should-
chocolate, and it
You
was
should tell
horrible.
the chat not to consume a weed, because you
Do
are a
not do
shining you are a shining example. I'll give you the short end of the story. Nathan
Wait,
had a
I'll tell
very
the
bad
story. If we're-
experience.
If
I'm
you
not going
wanna
to tell the
set it-
story. I'm just
set
saying.
it-
I'm
set it
saying.
up, and I'll tell a quick version of the story.
I'm just going to say, for anybody out there, also do what you want. If you're an adult, do what you want, but please do it responsibly. Nathan had a devil's chocolate, and it sent him on a very. I think what happened is so weed chocolate. It depending on the dosage, because I like listen. I've never drank. I've never done a drug, but I do know
Secret
that
toker.
I do. I've no. I've never had a toke. I do know that weed chocolate can be depending on where it, because it's not. It used to not be as regulated too.
Well, yeah,
So
edibles are risky. They always say, don't do an edible
I
for your
think you
first
had.
time.
I think you never had done a thing before,
Nope.
and
I'd only
I think
drank
you
like once before that. I'd never had anything in my body.
right, and then I
So,
think you took a chocolate that was like a super high dosage of something, and then you went insane.
well, what had happened was my friend, she got free. She went to a dispensary to buy chocolate. She got a free sample. Like, oh, we have this other chocolate you want to try, and she gave it to my girlfriend at the time who didn't do weed. She's a randomly, she's like, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna just try this." And I was like, "Oh, I'll try it," because I had drank once, and then I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll try this too," and which was not the way I think at all. I thought this wouldn't be; it would be just be like being tipsy or whatever. I ate a piece of chocolate. Nothing happened for 4 hours. Then 4 hours later, I lost my mind. I was in this endless loop of like this situation I experienced was I walked up to the counter, said something to my brother, sat on the floor, laid on the floor. But that happened a million times. Like I experienced that whole action and sequence a million times, and it like melted my brain. It made me insane. I thought I was in purgatory. I thought I had died, and I couldn't pass on. I had to keep looping the situation until I solved something. I did something right. I had to like go to heaven. So I was trying to figure out how I'm supposed to do that, how I'm supposed to do that. Then I saw this guy in the window about to shoot me, trying to snipe me, and I kept going like this, trying to avoid. It was like all these horrible situations were happening all at the same time. I was just basically panicking. And then in order to stop all this, and to move on to heaven to kill my body. That's how I thought I had to kill my body to move on. So I went outside to go run into the street to get run over, and that's when Seth had to stop me. He's like, "No, don't do that." And I was like, "Well, I gotta get out of this. I mean, I need to go to heaven." And this does not sound like anyone who's on weed. This is not what happens. It sounds like I was on acid. So that is what happened to me. It took a long time, and the thing that took me out of it was a familiar. They say familiarity is something that can bring you out of it. I remember thinking I
Uh
was like
huh.
under a sheet of plastic, and I poked my head up out of the plastic, and that's where I saw like reality. I was like, "Oh my god!" And I said to Siobhan, "I go, I'm really high, aren't I?" She goes, "Yeah, you are." And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm going back under." I was like, "Okay, I'll be back, I'll be back." And I remember feeling going back into the psychosis, and then I was like, "Okay, I had to get out of there. I gotta pop out of here one more time." And I kept popping my head up and out until I eventually came out of it. And then also during that time, I was like falling asleep and sleeping on the couch. But what initially brought me out of it was the sound of Total Divas, the WWE reality show on all the women wrestlers that was like on after Kardashians. That
Of
show I used to
course.
watch a lot, and their voices brought me back to sanity for the first time until I eventually came out of it. But it was a horrible experience. I don't suggest it to anyone. Don't do substances. Just eat vegetables and maybe some pudding and live a happy life.
You had actual reefer madness.
I did. Yeah, I think so. And it's bad news. Please don't do it, anyone.
To segue all the way back around, this man teleported and was not having reefer madness. He
Yeah.
teleported into the BMW.
So as a man who
Clearly,
has lost his mind, I would say that guy doesn't sound like a lunatic. He sounds like he's got it all together.
I'm gonna say this is certified pretty Florida man story right here.
I mean, we
Certified
have the
certified
certified
Florida man.
Florida, certified normal Florida activity.
You know that there's a reason for this. I think we've talked about this before. I believe they're called sunshine laws, but this is why you hear all of these stories coming from Florida, because other states have like privacy laws that like prevent the news from reporting on like everything. But
Oh, that's why we hear about it all.
Florida, you're allowed, it's like no holds barred. You can report on like whatever. So this is why you hear all of these stories coming out of Florida. It's because Florida has like no rules.
Yeah.
But this is
Wow.
like specifically why you hear like when people say, "Oh, Florida's so crazy. Florida's so crazy. Florida's the craziest place in the world." That could be true, but I also think it's because other states have stricter privacy laws as to like what they can report, and Florida does not. So I think this is why you hear a lot of these
Hmm.
insane stories coming out of the state of Florida. But this
Yeah.
story is pretty. This story is. I knew that this one would be. I was like, Nathan loves Florida. Nathan loves Florida man stories. This is a good one.
Florida man stories are the best. Can't
Well, do you want to
deny.
take? Do you want to take this? Do you want to take the next one?
Yes. Should I do the drone one?
The drone one is pretty good. I think the drone one is something we need to cover. That listen, for anybody
Okay.
who's watching this pre-recorded episode, we need to talk about this story.
This is
All the
pretty
stories
essential
that we're
stuff.
this is essential for your survival. Anybody who's watching this content, this fine production that producer Jamie and Nathan and I are providing to you, which is we're I'm sure by this point the marathon has become the most successful YouTube marathon in the history of YouTube. And right now we're in our Bugattis and our Ferraris and we're driving
Yeah,
all
yeah.
around the state of Florida. This is essential, crucial information that you need to digest. And at the end of this episode, we're going to have a quiz. And if you don't pass the quiz, you're not allowed to watch the show anymore.
Yeah. You guys see who the super fans are.
Yeah. See, you see that? Nathan, you see this? You see what I'm pointing at?
Yep. Odd Boys.
Above, right here. Well, not the Odd Boys. Do you see what is behind the Odd Boys?
A white wall.
That's a door.
Oh yeah.
And if the people don't pass our quiz at the end of this episode, GTFO.
Go to Tom's house, then open and close the door.
No, get out of here. You didn't pass the quiz. Go away.
Oh yeah. Pass the quiz, please. Study, everyone.
Pass the quiz, or you're out of here. Yes, take the story away. This is a good one.
All right. Well, Tom, we got some
Mhm.
unfortunate news.
I don't want to hear about it.
South Carolina residents who occupy a prison cell did not receive their groceries the other day. As a drone
They didn't get
delivery,
their DoorDash?
Nope, they didn't. The prisoners did not get what they paid for. A drone, which was delivering, we'll call it groceries, to some prisoners, was intercepted as it was attempting to drop and deliver weed, steak, crab legs, and cigarettes and other things.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I love it.
I bet you this. South Carolina is very close to Florida, so this very well could potentially be also a Florida story, because I bet you this drone came from Florida, went to South Carolina to drop off some friends some ingredients here for a fun weekend. The Lee County, South Carolina, plans for a crab boil with marijuana involved were thwarted at a South Carolina prison. The South Carolina Department of Corrections said Monday that it recently busted a drone delivering several items along with marijuana to the Lee Correctional Facility. And then it shows the items.
There is a little video
involved.
too, right?
We should watch
this
the video.
This is a
crab
crazy story. Yeah, this is
Legs and
crazy.
steak were on the menu at one Midlands prison. That is until staff intercepted a drone carrying the airborne seafood boil. Crazy story here. Definitely going wild online. Take a look at this photo. It's
I
released
like
by
that they
the
tried.
Department of Corrections.
Yeah,
Officers
like
at Lee Correctional said-
they were trying. Listen, I will never hold it against somebody for ingenuity, and this is the world we live in now. We've got drones, and these prisoners wanted to go wild that weekend. They wanted their weed, they wanted their cigarettes, they wanted their crab legs and Old Bay seasoning, they wanted their steaks.
Can you blame them?
And yeah,
They'll be
can
in
you
there for
blame
a
them?
while.
And usually people are trying to break out. They're trying they're not going anywhere. They're happy where they are. They're like, just
Yeah.
bring the steaks in.
They said, let's make it a weekend.
Yeah, just make they want make it a blockbuster night.
Yeah.
that a drone was caught dropping a package loaded with marijuana, cigarettes, a steak, crab legs, and even Old Bay seasoning. Yeah.
Gotta have
prison
I
like
staff
that they had
covered
this-
the unusual
I like that they
delivery.
were even trying to get the spices in too. They're like, well,
yeah. If he's got room in the drone, throw some spices in there. Okay, all right, I'll
Yeah.
tell him.
can you throw a cotton of Marlboros in there?
It's
Make
definitely
sure-
some prisoner's cousin outside like this, like driving this drone. It's like, okay. Oh, F, they see me. Oh no, what do I do? Steve. Oh, these guys on the payphone trying to like, where is it? Drop it.
Yeah, I wonder how close they got. That's what I want to know. But like, obviously, Guards saw it. They captured the drone, and they did not get to have their seafood boil. They did not get their weed. They did not get their steak. They did not get their seafood boil. But this is a certified nice attempt,
Yeah.
fellas.
Certified good try.
Certified good try. Certified good try. Uh well, we've got what do we have here? We have a couple more stories, and then we can do our little our little wrap our little extra news segment here.
Yeah.
So we should talk about this because I mentioned this on some other episodes, but have you heard about you have heard about the Philadelphia experiment? Yeah.
I have, yes. Oh
Okay,
yeah.
so we
I know
talked
a lot
about
about it.
you know a lot about it. I know a lot about it. We only kind of touched on it, and I wanted to bring it up again because it is a good story, and I would love to get deeper into this at some point.
Hmm.
But I also figured with Stranger Things going to by this point, by the airing of this episode, the finale of Stranger Things has happened. I believe it's on New Year's Eve is the finale of Stranger Things. 10 years in the making, Stranger Things is over. But the prequel to Stranger Things, which is the stage show, which I think they're eventually going to make a movie or a separate series about that,
Mm.
has ties to the Philadelphia experiment. That it has direct ties to the Philadelphia experiment, and it's even mentioned in the Broadway show. That's like a key part of the Broadway show is talking about the Philadelphia experiment. And I
Hmm.
have a video that maybe that video is playing over this footage right now. But I've previously covered the Philadelphia experiment. It's a great story. But this story is basically in 1943, the U.S. Navy, with the help of some of our top scientists at the time, people like Albert Einstein, Tesla, Dr. John von Neumann. Also, we talked about this a few minutes ago. Off camera, Oppenheimer
Yeah.
had weighed in
Oppenheimer
on this.
was indirectly involved, giving some thoughts and scientific advice.
Exactly. But basically, the U.S. Navy, the military, wanted to get a decisive tactical advantage over Germany, who was at war with the world at this time, and they wanted to try to make a ship invisible to radar. They wanted to see if this was possible, and the vessel in question was the USS Eldridge. And that's where it kind of ties into Stranger Things. Is that Stranger Things, the Broadway show, starts on the USS Eldridge. It goes into a place called Dimension X, which is this like other zone. And the doctor from Stranger Things, his father was the one conducting these tests, and then that doctor, the guy who Papa, ends up becoming obsessed with this Dimension X, and then that ends up creating Vecna, who's the main antagonist of the series by all of this. But it ties real life conspiracies in with the show. But this vessel, the USS Eldridge, when this ship had generators on board, when these generators were activated to cloak the ship disappeared.
Hmm.
And when it came back, something had gone horribly, horribly wrong. People were fused to the ship. Crew members were dead or dying. It was a
Yeah.
great,
People got
great.
like warped in between metal walls. Like everything was displaced and scrambled together.
Yeah, exactly. And what
But
they
but can I
no, go ahead.
ask you something?
Uh-huh.
You're probably gonna get to this, but I'm just curious. Where did it go?
So this was at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyards, is where this
Hmm.
experiment allegedly took place. It supposedly warped to Virginia. So it went through
Okay.
time and space. So
Oh, so
allegedly,
it went
this
to a
ship,
different time. It wasn't like the same time, just appeared far away, like teleported. It
well,
actually.
according to this, it went into a different time and then showed up at the same time in 1943 in Virginia, but it actually traveled through time and space. And they think that it went through like a wormhole.
Was it
So
in the
it
past?
traveled
Did it appear in the past or the future?
It went through
Do you know?
it went through the few. So this is the whole thing. It went through a time fog, and this time fog that was
What's a time?
generated.
I've never heard of a time fog. Have you?
So supposedly or allegedly, I guess, two of the sailors who were on board the ship, when they were protected from the disastrous effects of what happened to the
Like
Eldridge, like
being
the people
melted to
being
the boat.
like being melted to the boat, because they were in the control room. They were the ones who activated these generators. This guy Al Bielek and Duncan Cameron.
What force field just because they were in this one room protected them?
Well, that
Because
was
they
like
hit the button, so the button
they hit
illuminates
the
around
yeah.
them.
I mean, if we're gonna believe their story, which I mean, believe it or not,
I was all on
uh,
board until I done started thinking rationally.
allegedly they were the ones in the control room, so they were safe. And when they
Okay.
exited the control room to see what happened, while the ship was traveling through space and time, they came out to the main deck, and they saw that the ship was enveloped in this aura, and that's what is the time fog. And when they decided, we got to get the heck off this boat. And what do you do in a situation like that? You jump overboard into the time
Hmm.
fog. You don't stay on that boat where everybody's fused, dead, or dying. You
Yeah.
jump right into the dang time fog.
I mean, I might
And
do
when they
that too.
well, allegedly they woke up in 1983. So that's kind of like where it
And
ties into the
oh,
time
so
travel stuff.
what year were they from?
1943.
So they traveled 40 years into the future.
40 years into the future. And this is what also ties into Stranger Things. Stranger Things season 1 takes place in what year?
1983, I'm guessing.
1983. So
Uh-huh.
Al Bielek and Edward Cameron then
Are the Duffer
later
brothers.
they are the Duffer brothers.
Yeah.
Well, so according to this, Al Bielek, who said his real name is Edward Cameron, and Duncan Cameron, so Al Bielek claims that in 1943 he was actually somebody named Edward Cameron. He had his mind wiped, and his brother Duncan were the ones who were controlling the generators for the Philadelphia experiment. And then when they went into the past, they then became part of the Montauk Project, which then it ties the
So
Montauk
they went
Project
from
in with
one conspiracy to another.
exactly.
These guys are the king of mishaps, sci-fi mishaps.
I mean, it's a really cool story, and it's nice that it's nice to hear. Like, so this is what I think about it.
I
I think
didn't
it's a
know that they
fantastic.
connected, which is interesting. It does make it a little more fun.
I think it's fun that the story, and this is like a super abridged version of everything. Like this
Yeah.
there's so many factoids and so many like details to these type of
Hearing
things.
it being connected, Philadelphia experiment connected to the Montauk Project, is kind of like someone saying to you, "Oh, did you know that Mothman and Sasquatch are roommates?" You'd be like, "What? That's awesome! I want to hear about that."
I think the thing that is crazy about this is if people, and I've said this in when we talked about this in the past, if people didn't know that the Duffer brothers definitely were like, oh, we love the Montauk Project, oh, we love we love the Philadelphia experiment, they definitely really like liberally took a lot of the ideas from these real conspiracies and they just wrote them into the show.
Mhm.
People probably, and I love these, like it really confirms that the Duffer brothers probably love Coast to Coast AM.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
But and actually in my video, we could watch it if let me find it. We should watch it because it's actually a really good interview.
We should watch my video.
Al,
It's actually a really good video.
it's actually a really, I actually think it is a good video. I think it did a
Yeah.
good
No,
job.
I like all your
So what I was
investigation
gonna say is
videos.
there's a really like this is no joke. I had to look forever to find this interview. I was trying to find footage, which is weird. Footage of Al Bielek talking about Montauk and the Philadelphia experiment. A lot of it's been scrubbed from the internet. And it did actually take me a long time and a lot of looking to find an interview of him talking about the events of the Philadelphia experiment. So I do think we should watch it because it is a really
Okay.
interesting interview. And Jamie, if you click my link to my video, it starts at around 5 minutes and 30 seconds. And it's like a 4-minute clip, but it's a really good interview. I think we should react to it. Have you ever seen, you might have seen my video, but have you ever seen
I've
Al
seen
Bielek
this.
speaking?
Yeah.
Hello,
I
I'm
feel
your
bad
host.
for-
Pretty fascinating.
I almost believe, like I want to believe Al Bielek. He's a very interesting, it's a very interesting case. So it's at about 5 minutes and 30 seconds. But this is Al Bielek. This is the man who supposedly, allegedly, in 1943 jumped overboard with his brother, Duncan Cameron, into the dang time fog, vanishing, going into the future to 1983, and then becoming wrapped up in the events of the Montauk Project.
So he's technically older, 40 years older than he looks.
Yes.
If he traveled to town. Okay, interesting.
Well, okay. Well, actually, no. Let me back that up. Actually, no, because during the Montauk Project, Dr. John von Neumann, who allegedly died in 1957, I think, actually secretly alive in 1983, is the man who greeted the brothers after they traveled through the time fog into 1983, saying, "Gentlemen, we've got to send you back to the past. And if we don't send you back to the past, the entire space-time continuum is going to collapse in and upon itself because the USS Eldridge has created a rift in time and space, traveling interdimensionally. So we have to send you back."
The universe was cracking and breaking apart, and then they sent them back, and it sealed the rift.
They sent them back, and Al stayed.
How did they do that? They just go boop, boop, they hit the gigabytes, they hit the buttons, and then they went back?
They had
say how they sent them back?
They had a device that could send them back at that time. They had been. Of course they did. They had a. Of course, come on,
a reversal device.
Nathan, of course they had a time travel device by
Where
that time. They had
device?
to.
Have we ever see it? We get information on this device. Like what?
Well, they had they had the technology because they created the technology in 1943, and then they had 40 years to perfect it, and then they had to send the brothers Cameron.
So luckily,
back
the 80s guys had the technology to send them back.
Right, and Montauk, of course, in Montauk, New York. So basically, as the story goes, they sent Al, who at that time he was somebody named he was somebody named Edward. He thought he was somebody named Edward Cameron, or he thought he was Edward. He was Edward Cameron. He thought he was Al Bielek in the future, but they sent him and his brother Duncan then back to 1943 to stop the Philadelphia experiment, and destroy the time displacement equipment. And before the effects of the time aura wore off, Duncan leapt back into the time fog, and Al stayed. So Al is the correct age.
So his brother went to the future into the 80s after coming back.
Well, if we're going to get into that, Duncan actually had to be reborn as a different person in the 60s. And that explains how in the 80s, Duncan was younger than Al. And that's how Duncan was reborn as a different person. And then that led to him being experimented upon as a child, which led to the Montauk Monster destroying the Montauk Air Force Base, which was the inspiration for 11 in Stranger Things.
Yeah, there's nothing the kid being experimented on must be 11 from Stranger Things.
Right,
okay.
But that's only because Duncan leapt back into the time fog, and then he was disappeared into the unknown and had to be reborn as a different person in the future.
He came out that second time he jumped in, he came out in the 60s instead of the 80s.
Right. He was like wandering in the ether for several decades before he was reborn. And then, of course, luckily, Dr. John von Neumann, who, according to the official files of the Department of Defense, died in the 50s, actually still alive because he was secretly looking for the reborn consciousness of Duncan Cameron so that they could use him during the Montauk Project later on.
Wow. Simple stuff, not complicated at all.
Yeah, simple stuff. Simple stuff, you dummies.
Okay, got it. All right, let's listen to this interview.
Yeah. Overboard and swim ashore. There's nothing we can do. Everything appeared normal to the ship, up to the railing and slightly beyond. But a short distance beyond the railing, there was nothing but a solid gray fog. But we didn't think anything about that. We said, let's jump overboard, and we did. I mean, we didn't say this verbally. This was, shall we say, simultaneous mental thinking. We jumped overboard, and we never hit the water. We were good swimmers. We weren't worried about the height. Never hit the water. We started to fall. The sensation was like falling down an elevator shaft with no bottom. Mm-hmm. And down we went, and down we went. And suddenly, we were, shall we say, perhaps panic-stricken. We didn't have enough time to worry about being panic-stricken, but we were totally dismayed. We had not the foggiest idea what was going on.
Foggiest?
We were more or less side by side.
I believe it.
And this went on until what we estimate was about 2 minutes later. We arrived at a very strange location. At night, standing upright, next to a chain link fence. And It was dark. We didn't know
It's
where
a
we
really
were.
good
But we knew
story.
It's
it was
pretty
another
original. I like that he
crazy.
didn't have
Yeah.
the foggiest idea where he was when he was in the fog.
To put this into context, Al Bielek was like MUFON, which is like the UFO people, and like all of these conferences for people who talk about like conspiracy theories and stuff like that. Al Bielek was like a very prominent figure at a lot of these conventions and stuff like that with his like stories.
Mm.
And he was on Coast to Coast a lot of times. He tells some really good stories, like true or not, he's a really good storyteller. I feel like he came up with a pretty good story.
Yeah, it's cool. It's definitely an original. Hard to believe,
Yeah.
but original.
Place in
I
all
like him. I
likelihood
don't know.
because the chain link fence was of a military design. At that point, very suddenly, a very bright spotlight beamed down on us, illuminated us very brightly. We wondered what that was. Well, we know what searchlights were, but it was on a helicopter, and helicopters were unknown to us because in 1943 there were very few. They were experimental.
Mm-hmm.
But as it turned out, this was a production-type helicopter, as we learned later. But MPs came out of someplace and grabbed us and took us to a building. In the building, on an elevator, down the elevator shaft, the door opens. We see a lot of military personnel and a very elderly civilian in a gray business suit, white hair, what was left of it on the side of his head, walking towards us. He looks at us and says, "Gentlemen, I've been expecting you. I'm Dr. John Von Neumann." So we look at him. He says, "You're who?" And I said, "I'm Dr.
Right. So
John
they're
Von
seeing their
Neumann."
old boss 40 years later.
Wow,
Crazy.
that's kind of crazy.
Couldn't be. We left him approximately an hour or so ago. And he's a much younger man. Couldn't be you. He looked at us rather sternly and says, "Gentlemen, this is not 1943. This is 1983. I am the same Dr. Von Neumann you knew in 1943, except I'm 40 years older. Welcome to Nomontauk Air Force Station," or words to that effect.
Somehow, the brothers
Wow.
Directly connecting the two conspiracies. I love it. I love that these are like the two biggest conspiracy theories like ever. And this guy, Al Bielek, was like one of the ones like that constructed these stories. It's a really it's a lot. Like there's a lot to it, but this is like a full hour long interview. This is like an excerpt from it that I thought was like the
Mm.
best clip from the interview. I think he's a really good storyteller and he's very believable. I think he really, true or not, I think he's really thought out his story and he's a good storyteller and he's
Yeah,
believable.
and he
So
states it so plainly that it makes it more interesting because he just says it
yeah.
without embellishment.
And thank you, Mystery. I think it was Mystery Archive 3X was like, it took me so long to find a good interview with him. I like literally, I was like, like when I made this video, I was like looking on Reddit, like, Googling everything, going through all this YouTube. And I found that guy's channel and that his channel, like he archived a bunch of Al Bielek stuff. And so thank you, mystery person, for archive. And I gave them
Yeah,
credit, of course.
good
Make sure
job.
you give credit. Make sure you give credit if you're ever going to use a source. I prominently put it on screen. Make sure you give credit where credit is due. Thank you for archiving this footage. But yeah, a lot of Al's stuff, like a lot of it is missing. Like a lot of his like speeches and stuff, and I've noticed a lot of them have been taken down, which is very interesting.
Hmm. I wonder if that's like the government not wanting word to get out anymore.
I mean, so
Scrubbing.
there was some, I think that's the whole thing. All of these conspiracies have, at least if they're not true, they do have a nugget of truth to them. And it is true that the government at this time, which I believe the Eldridge they were doing this on the Eldridge, they were experimenting with equipment that would make the ship less visible to radar. So
Mm.
there was physical equipment. This is verifiable. There was actual equipment on board this ship that the ship could turn on that would make the ship less visible to radar. Now, did it teleport the ship to from Philadelphia to Virginia? Did it send Al Bielek into the future and then back into the past? And then did it connect them? Like, you be the judge. You know
You
what I
be the
mean? But
judge.
like, you be the judge. But the USS Eldridge was a real ship. That is true. I think the ship was eventually decommissioned and sold to the Greek Navy. Which a lot of I don't know if I don't know if like you're aware of like what we do with decommissioned ships, but a lot of like decommissioned U.S. military stuff is then like they strip sensitive materials out of it and then they sell it to another country. I believe the USS Eldridge, which was a destroyer class naval vessel, was eventually sold to the Greek Navy, I think, in the 60s. Um, it did have equipment on there. I think it was called degaussing equipment, I believe is the technical name of the equipment that was on board. It did have real equipment on board that would make the ship's radar signature less visible. Now,
Mm.
if we're going to be debunkers, if we're going to debunk this, what I think could have happened, one of two things. One, Al Bielek is totally truthful and these events actually happened, which is definitely the case. The second,
Ah.
with the second thing that could have happened is this ship was involved in some sort of top secret military experimentation with equipment on board to make it less visible to naval and aircraft radar, which I think somebody like Al Bielek could have heard about. And he was like, okay, this ship had this technology that was on board. I'm going to make a story that actually the technology teleported the ship. And here's this other stuff that happened. So it's like a nugget of truth that the ship did
Mhm.
have something on board that the military didn't like. It did have a top secret element to it. But it's the same thing when we talk about UFOs. We talk about UFOs and people are like, "Oh, I definitely saw a UFO." Now, did you see a UFO or did you see a top secret military aircraft? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
what's the difference?
Well, I think
But yeah, is it human or alien flying it?
is it human or alien? Or like,
Yeah.
and I say this as like when something like I think it was the B-2 bomber or the F-117 Blackbird, like those stealth those stealth fighters were being
Mhm.
developed. A lot of people reported those as UFOs because their shapes were unlike any other military aircraft that had ever been seen, and they were being developed under total secrecy.
Oh,
So
yeah.
in something
I
like
think that's what
this,
a lot
if
of
you
UFOs are, is like
right.
companies we've never heard of making stuff that even the government doesn't know about.
Well, I mean, like if you think about it too, it's like a lot of this stuff is like there's stuff that we know about, and then there's stuff that the government actually has.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna say
We
Philadelphia experiment certified 100% legit.
I'll say certified interesting.
Certified interesting. Al Bielek, we salute you.
Good job, Al. Is he still alive?
Thanks, Al. He is not alive. He if he was
Oh,
alive, he'd be like 1,000. I mean, that interview is from like 1989. It was like 40
okay.
years ago. He was already quite old at that time. But a
Yeah.
very interesting figure from the UFO conspiracy circles from around that time.
Mm.
But also ties directly into Stranger Things. So Duffer Brothers, I see you, Duffer Brothers. I hire me. Whatever show you're
Hire
working
me.
on next, hire me. Whatever show you're working on
Tom
next.
knows all the conspiracies. He'll
We
write
can
your
talk about
scripts.
coast to coast whenever you want. And that movie Prisoners, you said the Prisoners also inspired Stranger Things. I liked Prisoners. I'll go to the ArcLight with you
Hey,
guys.
I like what you like. Give me a job. That's what it
Hey,
takes.
Duffer Brothers. We're the same age. You're like a year older than I am, but we're pretty much the same age. I'll hang out with you guys.
You guys probably want friends, right? Now that you're rich and famous, I'll be your friend. Don't worry.
I'll be your friend. Do you want to hire me for the new Stranger Things?
I can't wait till they respond to you after they watch this episode.
I mean, yeah, they're gonna see it and be like, this guy obviously knows. He knows all.
He knows what's
He watched
going
Coast to
on.
Coast.
Well, maybe they will after we get Maddie on.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
true.
maybe they will.
They'll be like, "What the hell's he going on this show for?"
Hey, Maddie's
Coast to
on our
Coast.
favorite podcast, Odd Boys.
That's true. Duffer Brothers. We'll watch this show. Stop listening to Coast, and just watch this show, and then say it doesn't. You can use it. You can say in the next season of Stranger Things, Steve has a podcast. Old Steve in the future has a has a podcast called Odd Boys, and he co-hosts it with all of us.
Oh boy.
I think it's a
Should we
great
do the
idea.
zombie thing?
Oh yeah, well we have the things that James. I think we can save that. We have the things
Okay.
that because we're approaching the 2-hour mark.
Yeah,
Jamie had a couple
okay.
of things in the script. I think we should cover the Jamie things.
Why not?
Okay.
I'll go over the things. Since we're in the fancy new year of 2026, I think the Odd Boys have done a lot of odding already. So I think I can take in now for the end of this particular pre-recorded video, and you guys can just react to some very strange things that I find quite peculiar and
Can we
odd.
just like
Lay
kick
it on
back?
us.
Can we take our pants off like the
I was
DoorDash
just
guy?
gonna say I'm taking my pants off.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not
should we
sure
take
if
our-
it's a
should we
good
take our-
idea to be taking pants off, guys, but you know, I mean, you know what? It's New Year, it's 2026.
2026.
2026, we're doing Odd Boys pantless
there
for
we
an
go.
entire year. Why
I'm
not?
just in my underwear now.
Don't put them up for free, Nathan.
Hey, I'll give them.
Oh yeah, don't give the don't give the feet. Yeah, don't give the feet out for free. Listen, Nate,
buffet.
listen, everybody. Nathan's showing. I hope you're all donating. I know we're not live right now, but Nathan's giving. Every one of those should be up. There's a $5 super chat. Up. There's a $5 super
We're
chat.
gonna have members through the roof.
Wow.
That's another $5
fantastic.
super chat. Up. Thank you for that $5 super chat. Thanks for that
Thank
Ko-fi.
you.
Thanks for
Thank
that
you.
membership.
Wow.
Support the show.
Odd boys. It kind of turned to foot boys.
Odd feet.
We're gonna start. We're actually. We should announce that right now. Odd Boys will not be on YouTube anymore. We're gonna be on Sniffer.
What is Sniffer?
That's like a website where you can buy used socks and underwear.
Oh God, I wish I didn't know about that.
We're gonna that's our New Year's resolution, everybody. We'll look for the Odd Boys account on Sniffer.
No, don't.
All right, here we go.
All right, Jimmy,
here's
lay it on us.
some odd news for you guys. This is an actual story that is very true, and scientists have pondered this idea because they believe it could be one of these many possibilities they have. There is possibly an actual black hole orbiting our sun and is in our solar system. Yes, so this has been going on for quite a while now. There has been a couple of theories because there has been a couple of meteors and other blocks of things orbiting in the Kuiper Belt, which is just, as far as I'm aware, it's pretty far out. It's near around where you'd expect Pluto to be. And they've been observing that kind of area for the last 10 years. But they've noticed a lot of these meteors and other debris and rocks orbiting this area. Their orbits are off. And they're not moving the way that scientists are predicting. Their orbits seem peculiar, like something is pulling them that we're unaware of. And one of these particular theories is a black hole, one that is orbiting our solar system that could be 155 billion miles away from the sun, is what some people have
That's not too
suggested.
far.
So do they think that this black hole it's pulling our solar system into it?
No, they believe it is orbiting our solar system. It's in our solar system, orbiting our sun, and it is pulling some of these objects that we're seeing past, I believe, Pluto and a couple of other planets in that area, and they're unfamiliar, but somewhere in, I think it's the Kuiper Belt, however far out, obviously 155 billion miles is. They believe there is a black hole there that is orbiting our sun, and it is taking over. They believe the orbit, if it is happening, could be around 15,000 years it takes to orbit our sun because it's that far out.
Wow. I didn't know black holes orbited. I thought they kind of were fixed. And
So
stayed where
there
they were
are
in space.
multiple different versions of black holes. This particular black hole is something we haven't been able to prove yet, which is a black hole that just basically travels the galaxy. So this is one thing that scientists have theorized, is that there are a lot of black holes that can be gigantic and even be at the center. There's even one at the center of our galaxy. And even ones we can see, billions of light years away. But there is also the theory that there are much smaller black holes that could even be the size of like a couple of miles long. And those black holes, they believe are just flying through the universe. And obviously the reason we can't see them really is because they're so small. And it's quite possible that one of these particular black holes that we have yet to have discovered could be in our solar system and orbiting and have caught orbit in our sun. Anyway, it is just flying around nearby.
I like to think about that because it means that gives me hope that aliens and people are visiting us, because I feel black holes are used by the people who understand them, the beings that understand them and know how to harness them and
use them for like interdimensional travel or something.
Yeah, I think that's probably how aliens are coming in and out to us.
It is the craziest thing. When I have looked into black holes before, one of the craziest things that melts my brain when it comes to a black hole is that scientists describe that if you ever enter a black hole, time does slow down. Because
isn't that the plot of like Interstellar?
Yeah, well, Interstellar wanted to make a legit scientific story, and so he actually got a professor to actually simulate a black hole. That black hole in Interstellar is actually used to this day for scientific papers, because the simulator that they created for that black hole is so accurate that that's what they use to determine how a black hole operates.
It's a great movie, everybody, by the way. I'm going to say that's probably Christopher Nolan. A majority of his film catalog is quite excellent. And I believe that's I think out of his entire film catalog, I feel like it's rated highly, but still underrated, because I think a lot of people place Inception and Dark Knight like higher.
The soundtrack gets a lot of credit in that movie too. The Hans Zimmerman music. Good movie. I like that movie, and for Christopher Nolan's best movie is that movie, in my opinion. And his second best movie is Batman's second Crazy Night Out.
The Dark Knight?
2, yeah, the second one.
Batman
Return. There's Batman's Crazy Night Out, and then Batman's Crazy Night Out again, and then there's Batman. Wow, this is gonna be a doozy for the third time.
Did you know
are good?
I love Christopher Nolan. My only gripe with and this is like an actual gripe that I have with Christopher Nolan, is that he really directly took a lot of the plot points for Inception from an anime movie called Paprika.
Oh, I know Paprika. Really?
But it's like that whole, like a lot of the story elements and the way
that did Perfect Blue, the same creator.
Satoshi Kon, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thought so.
But like there's a lot of similarities between Paprika and Inception. Although Inception,
anime
great
inspires
movie.
Everything. Stranger Things, Elfen Lied.
Yeah, and Akira.
Akira. My Body. It inspires a lot.
Exactly. Dragon Ball Z, me.
Yep. Tom's got Dragon Balls.
Yep, I've got huge, gigantic Dragon Balls. I'm dragging them all. I'm gonna drag them out to the kitchen after this. I'm dragging them out of. I will say I am gonna drag them into the kitchen after this.
Hey, I got a question. Do British people like anime? Jamie?
Yeah, there's been a rise in, I think, people liking anime over here. Maybe not to the extent America
just kidding.
does.
But that's funny that you answered it so seriously like that. Yeah,
I am so used to it from an American asking me questions like that. I mean, I've had Americans ask me, do I celebrate Thanksgiving, an American holiday? So we're pretty used to... We have to answer Americans seriously when they ask questions like that.
Do you personally watch anime?
I have only watched a couple, and I've always meant to continue. The only ones I've seen is Death Note and One Punch Man, and I have been wanting to watch more, but it's sitting down to it because they're very long. There's
a lot of episodes, yeah.
Oh, and One Piece, obviously. I could forget that. I've been wanting to go into that because that does look kind of.
You'll never finish it. You gotta start it.
Yeah, true.
Then you die.
It's forever, yeah. Apparently, it's coming to an end, or if it has ended. I'm not sure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I only know about this because Alba loves anime. She's very big on anime, and she loves One Piece, and she's been following One Piece for a long while. She's seen everything, and the creator, which is like I only know about this from hearing it from her because I'm like, oh yeah. But like I haven't seen I've seen a few episodes with her, but like usually that's like she watches it all the time. She watches it every new episode. The creator the show's been on for over 20 years, I believe, and the creator is quite sick. He's quite ill. And
Oh.
it's kind of like he has to wrap it up. And he's also quite, I think he's getting older and he's quite ill. And like there's a lot of breaks in the show too because he has health issues. So like if he has a health issue, the show just goes on hiatus.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think they are bringing it to from what I hear, they are bringing it to a close because he's like got to wrap it up.
Yeah.
I think the perfect length for any show is 5 seasons. So if you're going 20,
Yeah.
you're already like, okay, you've done too much.
I think it's a good amount, 5
Right.
seasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do love anime. I think that I prefer I should give Jamie a couple of recs. I always preferred anime that had like I think that Nathan and I probably experienced this more so growing up. I used to go to Hollywood Video all the time. Hollywood Video was a video store chain that was around during that time, and I went through their entire anime section um when it was there. I rented every anime that they had, I think. But a
Mm.
lot of anime at like that I watched at that time, especially the anime that was in a video store, it was always like it had like like a couple of parts. And it was a lot of stuff from like I think the company was called it was just called like it was just called manga
Mm.
like the company, and it would have like one part or like three parts and then it was like over, and it would be movies like Ninja Scroll and Macross Plus and Akira and
Bubblegum
Devilman,
Crisis.
Bubblegum Crisis, Angel Cop, and it would be stuff like that that had like a very short run. And then it wasn't something like One Piece, which I think One Piece is fun from what I've seen, but 20 years with like 10 million episodes, it's so much to keep up with.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Exactly. It's probably
anime.
best to watch when it's finished. But anyway, to wrap
Yeah.
up, obviously, this part, because I wanted to add this other part, because the other theory, obviously, is that it's not a black hole and that it could be the official 9th planet that scientists would recommend, which would be a
Oh.
quite large planet. But the reason we have not found it is because, similar to the black hole thing, is that scientists predict that it would take 15,000 years to orbit the sun, and because it's so far out, it's essentially black. You can't see it in the sky, and we don't know where on its orbit it would be. We know it could be tugging on all these things in the area, but we're not sure. And there is a new telescope that has just, I think it has just officially been launched like a couple of months ago, and it is expected to 100%. It is much better than anything else we've had. And it will officially figure out if there is a 9th planet doing this or something else. So we will find out in 2026, which is conveniently when we actually have gone live on this
Did they
pre-recording.
say how long it will take from launch to get there?
Well, it's not launching in there. It's a telescope, so it's watching from Earth. It is going to scour.
I was thinking you said satellite.
Oh yeah, I know. But it scours the night sky much further than we've ever been able to do before. So it will be able to map out and find the 9th planet if there is a 9th planet.
That's crazy.
or
You can put
potentially
something on the
else.
ground here and just look to the sky, and it just keeps going, and it can look light years away. That's like insane to me.
Absolutely
How'd they
crazy.
figure that out? I
know.
barely put this desk together. How the heck did they figure that out?
How they did that? Well, I actually learned how they got the picture of the black hole. You know, the first ever black hole image that they discovered in 2019. They officially got footage of a black hole, and they basically got all telescopes, massive telescopes from around the world to take a picture of the same spot at the exact same time, and they captured the closest HD footage of a black hole that they could by basically
crazy.
a
They had to all
Earth-sized
come
telescope.
together.
Yeah.
So
That's
I have a
interesting.
question for you, Jamie. You said that the planet itself is quite large.
Yes.
Is it? I'm curious, just for comparison's sake. Is it as large as Uranus?
Incredible. It could be. I think they said Neptune, but yeah, could be as large as Uranus, Tom.
But not
Good.
as big as
That's
your balls.
No, not as big as
Yeah.
those
What about
Dragon
you-
Balls around.
Now you said You said that we're going to launch something, and you also said tugging. Now should we be launching anything towards a planet as big as Uranus?
I think it's worth a try. See what happens. You know,
Yeah,
it's
you
worth.
gotta try.
This
When
is
in
the
Rome.
only way we learn new information, Tom. And if we need to find
Right.
something near Uranus, then we got to start launching as much as we can up there. until
Right,
we
just
until
end
we
it all
officially
out.
get the news that the information that we're looking for.
If we tug too much, though, it could create some sort of disastrous event.
It's
Oh,
quite
yeah.
possible,
There
but
could be
that's
a tear in your universe
yeah,
Right, we
yeah.
don't want to
that
tear.
will be unrepairable.
But yeah, I wanted to bring this up because to me, I went down a rabbit hole or a literal black hole of learning about black holes because they are insane. The idea of they basically said that the center of a black hole is literally possibly the past, the present, and the future all at once. All time paradoxes, everything.
Mind melting stuff.
And if you go in there, you cannot get back out. So when you go in, you will see what's on the other side, but you could never tell us. And when we enter it, apparently all we would see outside of a black hole is the person stopping and just slowly fading away. We would never see them enter it. It would just be the last fragment of light that has been casted on them from our universe.
Don't you also get like torn apart?
You do when you're
atoms?
inside, but we would never see that. They would eventually get that when they get there. They will get
I do
spaghettification,
wonder-
You can't
which is what it's
even
called.
get to the other side of where it is because you'd have to be reassembled.
No, you
Right.
would
So
get
crazy.
inside and you would see it, but then you would be torn. Once you get to the very center of it, you would then be spaghettified. Spaghettification, I think they called it, which is where they would stretch you out and you would turn into spaghetti, basically.
I do wonder if we'll ever get the ability to travel through something like this, because I feel like once we are, and to what Nathan was saying about aliens possibly having like mastered traveling through something like this,
Yeah,
or
I bet
like
you they can do it.
I also think that aliens could be humans from a future timeline, and like
Mhm.
they've
I
figured
think
out
the
how to
same
like
thing.
travel, right? And it's like we're just seeing ourselves in the future that are traveling
We
back.
probably look
I-
very different because we've evolved from like adding artificial stuff to us and just the food that we do and don't eat. I think we probably look like aliens in the future because we
Yeah.
look different now
Right,
than we did when we were Neanderthals, you know?
I have thought about that before, and I know that that's a theory that's been brought up quite a few times, where it's like aliens aren't aliens at all. It's just future humans that have now mastered interdimensional travel, and like
Yeah, it's
there's
just a
just so
Florida
many
man.
light. It's just future, future
Teleporting into
eh,
BMWs
right. Literally, well, that's why he looked like
from
that.
a
That
black
was
hole.
actually
He
a
probably came from a black hole. It all makes
Right, he
sense
was-
now.
right. That man, Calvin, whatever his last name was, he's just a more advanced human being.
Mhm.
So I will also add for black holes, but yeah, this is where wormholes came from. So there's the it was Einstein that obviously came up with the idea that black holes probably exist, but they figured out that the math that creates a black hole, they realized they could do it in reverse. A black hole is something that cannot escape it, but then there's another thing called a white hole, which is where nothing can enter it. So the theory, and this is where wormholes came from, was that what if you go through a black hole and then you come outside of a white hole? We have not
was
yet
like an entry and an
yes,
exit.
yeah. A black hole you cannot escape from, but yet a white hole pushes everything out. So some people theorize that potentially that's a way to go, going through a black hole and then coming out of a white hole.
I never heard of a white hole.
Yeah, they have not officially ever found one, but Einstein never thought that there were going to be black holes, and then we found one, I believe, after he passed, and then obviously discovered more since then. We have yet to find a white hole, and so there is a theory of does it even exist? But the sum is there. There is no flaw in the whatever it is that they obviously do to figure out when something exists in our universe. But there is the math says that it should exist because a black hole does, and we found proof of a black hole.
So it's, I mean, it sounds like theoretically this is an entry exit point. So if we're able to find both of them and find these, like, map these locations for entrances and exits, if we're then able to construct a craft capable of like going through and out, we found like entry and exit points and like a way to do it.
It could be. Obviously, it's all theoretical, but like the idea of that is kind of crazy. And when you think about, going in a black hole and then, like you said, with like potential creatures and things, mastering that, maybe they go through a black hole, figure out how to not get spaghettified, and then they find their way out of a white hole, teleporting from one space to the other.
Crazy.
Wow.
Certified mind spaghettified.
Certified facts.
my mind definitely
Certified
spaghettified in that.
Certified science.
Anyway.
Well, we've got this last thing you did, or do we
Yes.
want to save this now because we're in the past, but we're going to be in the future, which is then going to be the past, or do we want to save this for the marathon?
I think we do this now because I think this would be kind of fun getting you guys to do it and see. I think it's a good
let's do
way
it.
to probably end the show and go into the new year of what we're all gonna do. So guys,
Hit me with it.
here we go. Let me get this up so I actually know the correct information on this. So I found that in June of 2024, the Piers Foundation surveyed over 3,000 young people in 448 schools to find out how many conspiracies they had heard of, how much in the conspiracy realm had they uncovered. And I have compiled their top 10 of the most heard of, most familiar conspiracies of children.
Are you gonna have us see if we can guess them?
I'm going to see if you can guess the top 10 conspiracy theories that children have heard of between 11 and 18 years old.
All right.
All right.
You want to go for? Well,
Here we go. I will give a bit of context that this was from British schools that they explored, but all these conspiracy theories you have heard of.
British. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, people are more sane in England.
there you
America,
go.
everyone knows of all the conspiracy theories. So I think now we're looking at real people.
I am going to say that we'll take it in turns if you want to go back and forth, and then we'll see how many that both of you can obviously get. If you want to flip a coin or something of who goes first and then makes the first guess, you can still talk to each other, obviously, but it's just so no one's talking over each other when they're guessing it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
You can go first if you want, or I can go. Doesn't matter.
I'll go.
Yeah. All right. Here we go, Nathan. What you got? You can talk through your process of where you're going to go first. Go for it.
So I'm not just supposed to guess what
So,
conspiracies.
You can guess
British people
any
have heard of?
conspiracy yeah, you've got to basically guess what do you believe that children between 11 to 18 years old have heard of. And it's a top 10. So if you just name a conspiracy theory and it's on there, I'll tell you what number it is and what percentage of people said
Okay.
they heard of it.
I know a guaranteed one.
All right, go for it.
Guaranteed, they've heard of Loch Ness Monster.
Loch Ness Monster, it is not on there because that is a cryptid. Not a conspiracy
it's not a
theory.
Conspiracy?
Yeah.
I would
wait,
think that's
so-
a conspiracy
wait.
of something that exists in a lake.
Yeah, no,
So wait,
those...
you're gonna say? I think what we should do, because you're saying like it's not on there, but then I still have to go, so that's gonna like check things off. I think that we should just I think we should write down, I think we should write this down, so just so we can lock in the answers.
Yeah,
I don't
go
know
for it.
any conspiracy theories. I can't think of anything at the
No,
moment.
you've got them, Nathan. I'll tell you right now, you've heard of these.
Okay.
You've both heard of these. But you can go again if you want, unless if you want to chalk off Loch Ness Monsters, I guess. I should have clarified it wasn't cryptids, because obviously I know
I always forget.
Yeah, no,
I
I realized that actually could be considered conspiracy. But yeah, if we remove cryptids, like creatures
we're writing
in the
down
woods.
the conspiracies that we think English people have heard of. English kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, are you writing them down rather than just guessing one at a time?
I'll
just
guess
so we're
one
not
right
guessing.
now, unless Tom doesn't want to do it that way.
Well, because then we're kind of like, because then I'm gonna be like, oh, I was gonna guess that one.
Yeah, but then you just guess another one.
Or do.
It's like Family.
Yeah, we'll just do that.
What
then.
is it? Family? Is it Feud?
Yeah,
Family Feud. It's like that.
Family Feud, where they.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this
Yeah, all
is
right.
basically Family Feud.
Yeah, because then you get basically a good short out of this of just like you both each guessing games and then getting annoyed at each other when the other one says the one you're going to say. That's how the feud works.
I've come up with 3, and I think at least 2 have been heard of.
I think if one appears on the board, suddenly more will start popping into your head of what kind of conspiracies are going to be on here.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, yeah. So you can keep going then.
Yeah,
You want me to go, Tom?
You go for it,
You
Nathan.
can keep going.
Should I say all 3?
You can just give one, and then we'll go to Tom,
Okay.
because we'll go back and forth.
This is one I'm sure that they've heard of.
Okay.
Flat Earth.
Yes, it is number 2 at 48%. Congratulations, you got second place. It's number 2 on there. All right, Tom, we're going to you. What do you think?
The moon landing was fake.
Yes, that is number 1 with 50% on there. So you've got 1 and 2. So there you go.
Okay. Another one I think they've probably heard of is the JFK shooting was like an inside job.
Okay. JFK, they have heard of, but it's not in the top 10. It is actually just out there on 27% JFK.
Ooh,
it's actually,
okay.
I'll even tell you that number. That number was 11. So you just out, it was almost in the top 10.
Okay, okay.
But it's not in that top 10.
Tom, you want to go?
Yes, Area 51.
Area 51. I will give you that at number 6, alien conspiracy theories. I guess because there's so many alien conspiracy theories, they lumped it all into just one thing called alien conspiracy theories. That is at number 6 with 38%. So there we go.
Okay.
We go back to you, Nathan.
Men in Black.
Men in Black. That is
that on there?
Not in the top 10 there. There we go. All right, Tom.
So it sounds like they're giving very general categories, so I'm just going to say ghosts.
Ghosts. Ghosts are not on there.
So they just assume that ghosts are real?
I guess. Well, I don't think ghosts are...
It's filled with ghosts.
Yeah.
I guess so. It sounded like with the alien generalization that it was like it sounded like there were going to be like a bunch of like general ones.
Well, these are specific things. I think ghosts is more, I think that fits more folklore and cryptids. Like that's what that category falls. I think conspiracies is more specifically governments hiding things, things that people are hiding, essentially. I think that's what conspiracy. I think you got to think it that way. Area 51, government hiding aliens, type conspiracy. Flat Earth, the government are hiding flat Earth from us. Moon landing hoax, they faked going to the moon land. I think that's how they've categorized conspiracy theories. It is things that have been told in history books that are not true.
Got it.
I'm trying to think of other conspiracies.
Yeah, who just went then? Was that Tom? That was Tom. So it's we come
well, yeah, I guess
to
like a
you.
general one.
Yeah. We come to you, Nathan.
What did I say? I said Men
said,
in Black.
You said JFK, and you also said Flat Earth. I'll also go over as well. We have had the moon landing, Flat Earth, and alien conspiracy theories. Those are the 3 that we have on the board.
Oh, they probably. I would think it's just funny. They're all America-based. All the ones that I think of. Most conspiracies come from America. I would say 9/11 was an inside job.
9/11 was an inside job. That is on the list. Number 9. 9/11 inside job. 33%. There you go. Okay. Well done. All right, Tom, your go. What you got for us?
And you said that there were no cryptids on this list?
No cryptids on this list, no.
Okay. Well, I'll go British because I know that this is a big one. I don't know if it's going to appear on there, but is Paul is dead on there? Paul McCartney is actually dead. He's been replaced.
Oh, that's a good one.
Paul is dead is not on there. But nice try, though, to be fair. Yeah. All right, Nathan, up to you.
This is not a conspiracy. I'm just going to state that, but it's one that some people have said is a conspiracy, and it's a new one. So I'm guessing young people have probably heard of this. Was Trump's claims of the election being stolen from him?
Trump's claims of the election being stolen. Election fraud. It is not in the top 10, but that is 12th. The US 2020 elections were rigged at 26%. So there you go. Wow. That actually was in the top 20, if we're going with that. Come on, Tom. You've got this. Nathan's beating you right now, I feel. He's got most of these. He's technically saying all these things.
One.
Oh, yeah, you did get number 1, though, to be fair. You did.
Number 1 counts for like...
I got number 2.
Yeah.
See, you see why I did this game? Because it's immediately going to make you two competitive between each other.
So... I'm going to say, even though I believe that it is real, but I know that a lot of it is a conspiracy that's current, and some people say it's a conspiracy, is there is the misinformation about COVID-19. And
I was going to say that next!
Yeah.
Dang it! You said it!
I am gonna You know what? I will give you that because I think it'd be hard to be specific. But COVID being a bioweapon is at number
Yeah, that's
4.
the misinformation about it, 'cause that's like
42%.
current.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what number 3 is.
All right, Nathan. Yeah, there you go. Tom has got number 4. Yeah, that's a good one to get. Actually,
Isn't there like one where there's a conspiracy where someone was replaced, like Joe Biden died or something? Not Joe Biden. Isn't there like a conspiracy that someone is a robot and they made a new person? Maybe that was Paul
that's like
McCartney. That was the Paul's.
I think
dead
that's
thing.
just
Maybe
like
I'm
a
thinking.
common, it's like a people like elites are being replaced with.
I got one. Tom should have said this already. Okay, I got one that hopefully they've heard. Birds aren't real.
birds aren't real is not on the list.
Oh, wow. Tom did a whole video on it. None of the British people saw it.
Oh no, that means you need to crack that British viewership, Tom. What are you doing? They didn't see it?
Wow.
All right, we'll come to you, Tom.
Well, I am going to say, because it seems like there's the children are just talking about a lot of the stuff that's on the news. I'm going to say that there's a whole Epstein conspiracy here, and they're probably all talking about Epstein and like Epstein's death conspiracy or whatever.
That is, I will say, fact. He did not kill himself. It's also, I just found out the other day there's another guy that was killed in prison as well that had information that was like in that whole Epstein Trump circle.
It's very the details of his death are the details of his death are highly suspicious. But I'm gonna say Epstein, something related to Epstein.
Okay, Epstein is actually not on the list. I personally think that's because this survey was 2024. I think if this was done this year, I 100% agree with you that would probably be on the list. Anyway, Nathan, it is to you. What you got for us?
Okay, this might be one because I think this was British news.
Okay.
They might think, who's the woman who married the bald prince? The brown hair lady.
Oh, Meghan?
Meghan. No, not
Meghan
the one
Markle?
not the one that ran off back to LA, the LA actress. The other one, the one that had kids, the older one. The older brother's wife. She's a princess now, I think, isn't she?
Sarah, maybe?
What,
the one who had cancer recently.
Oh, I can't remember the name. I'll be honest.
Yeah, that is a conspiracy. That her videos are just AI. It's not real.
Yeah, that she's dead. This conspiracy. My conspiracy is that they think she died and they're covering it up.
Oh, I think I have heard of that. Yeah.
She's like the new
that is
Princess
weird.
Diana, basically.
Well, yeah, that is weird because they the videos of it are like she's in like it's like the movement and her clothing hasn't changed or whatever, and they're like, oh, this is really weird that she'd like show up like this.
Who's the bald guy, Jamie?
Prince
William, right?
William, yeah. I keep wanting to say Harry, but it's not.
Catherine, Princess of Wales, is my conspiracy that she has died and that they're covering it up or they replaced her.
All right.
She got cancer.
That is not on the list. However, I will throw in a little
Diana.
I will throw in a little hint that there is a royal on this top 10 conspiracy. Anyway, we're going to Tom now.
A royal. It's like a lot of my stuff is going to be like cryptid, but I'm like, oh, there's not going to be like Bigfoot or anything. I don't know what the royal one could be. Maybe that
we need some dramatic music because it like the tension builds. Can Tom get it? The conspiracy man.
So something I've heard is Prince Charles is actually a vampire. I have heard that before because he's like never in sunlight and he's very pale. Is there something about him being a vampire on there?
There is not. That is not on the list. All right, Nathan, back to you.
I was going to say the royalism. I said Princess Diana. Maybe that it was an inside job or something.
Princess Diana. That is on the list. At number 3, Princess
That's
Diana,
number 3.
43%. In fact, when I was checking this survey, more parents actually know about that conspiracy than any other conspiracy on this list. At something like 59%.
That makes sense.
But that makes sense because that
happened when they were a kid.
that was, yeah, because that was like 1995. So a lot of the parents would have been like 10, 15 when that like I'm sure it was like in every news thing ever at that time. Like we heard about that in America. That was on like near constant.
It's all everyone was watching the whole time.
Right.
Cool.
It's like even here, it's like that was huge news.
Yeah.
All right.
What
so
was the conspiracy then? That it was an inside job?
Yes, that it was an inside job. That it was a hit by the royals, I believe.
Okay.
Anyway, so to go over, you have first place, the moon landing. Second place, flat Earth. Third place, Princess Diana. Fourth place, COVID was a bioweapon. Sixth place, alien conspiracy theories. And 9/11 is an inside job.
What was number 10?
You haven't got number 10 yet.
We haven't got it yet. Okay.
The places you don't have yet are 5, 7, 8, and 10. So 4 left.
Wow, 4 left. Maybe stuff.
I think it's
like.
Did Tom just take a guess, or is that you? You got Princess Diana.
I didn't yet. I was going to say. I was going to say Hollow Earth.
Hollow Earth.
Oh, that's a new one. That's a new conspiracy, right?
Hollow
No,
Earth.
It's been around for a long time.
Is not on the list.
Tragic.
I have one that might match some of the theme of the thinking of some of the other ones. Since it's young kids, maybe they've heard the conspiracy that school shootings are faked and they're actors.
Oh, like Sandy Hook or something.
Like Sandy Hook, like what that dumb guy says. What's his name? Alex Jones. Stuff he says.
He very famously. Yeah, this is probably on there because that's like. I mean, how much money did he get sued for spreading that misinformation? Yeah. He got like, I think he got sued for what, like $1 billion or something for spreading that information.
I don't think he can.
All right, that is not on the list.
Whoa. Okay.
All right, we're going to Tom now. Tension rising.
Yeah, this is hard.
It gets harder now. Now it's whittled down.
I got one.
Oh, he's got one.
I'm trying to think. I think I'm gonna pass. I think I'm gonna pass to Nathan because it doesn't seem like it doesn't take like specific ones into account.
I think it does take specific ones. It's just that I think you're thinking too into that cryptids are conspiracies when I think the idea is government hiding stuff. And that is what a conspiracy is usually laid out of.
Stuff that could be real. Like, well, obviously we know, Sasquatch isn't real.
Yeah, but if the government was essentially lying that it's that, but it's not really a case of the government lying. They just we don't really know if Bigfoot real or not. Yeah. Whereas aliens, there's crafts and things that could be government things that they're covering up and strange things happen there. Whereas they don't delete evidence when someone posts a picture of Bigfoot because it's not a conspiracy. They're not trying to hide it. Oh, you all right there, Nathan?
Dramatic zoom.
Wow, you really do have the answer,
sometimes.
I guess.
I know. That's what should have happened when
at what I'm thinking.
And it was trying to figure out how many wrinkles you got on your brain.
Oh, didn't see any.
All right.
I do have one. I thought of.
Go for it.
Oh wait, what was it? Oh gosh, my brain is smoothing out.
Oh no.
What was it? What the heck was it? Oh crap! I don't want to pass back to Tom. I just had it, and I was about to say it. Then we started talking, and it fell out of my head. It was Oh. No, we said that. I don't know.
Okay, well, I will give you guys a clue to one of them. Number 8 was actually a very popular conspiracy theory around the same time as COVID. There you go.
I'm going to take a blind guess and just say the Illuminati are real.
I got my idea back. But
all right, well, what were you saying, Tom?
I'm gonna take a blind guess just to throw it out there and talk about the Illuminati
The Illuminati.
and like the new world order and whatever being
That-
a shadow government.
That is
Oh,
not in the top 10, but it is in the top 20. Illuminati at 16%. And to be honest, I think the similar thing that is kind of there as well on that top 20 is reptilian conspiracy theories. So those kind of connected with each other.
The reptiles are obviously
the lizard people.
fact.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's
but
real.
those are two in the top 20. They are, I think, they're around 14th or 15th. But yeah, so they're not in the top 10, but yes, they are on that list. So you're getting closer.
Okay.
I remembered it is connected to similar things that we've said. Global warming, climate change is fake.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a conspiracy kids have probably heard of.
Climate change is on the list at number 7, 35% of
Yes.
children between 11 and 18 have heard of climate change hoax. So there you go. We're coming to Tom now. We only have 3 left. We have number 5, number 8, and number 10.
I'm gonna throw another specific one out there just to see if they've heard about it, and I'm gonna throw out Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove. Bohemian Grove is not on the list. No.
Wow.
There you go. I think also
Children have to what? Children have to turn on their InfoWars more often.
I think Bohemian Grove is also more predominantly American based. I know some of these are American based, but a lot of these were kind of world events. Like moon landing was world event, flat Earth is a world event.
Yeah.
COVID was a world event, even though like I know conspiracies stemmed from America. Same with alien conspiracy theories, climate change, and 9/11, even though it happened in America, kind of became a world event with how big it happened. It was huge across the whole world, like Princess Diana actually in Australia. That went over to you guys. So it's big conspiracy theories, most of these that are more world events than America specifically. But yeah, anyway, got one for you, Nathan. I'm going to give you guys 3 more guesses before we fill them in.
I only have one more, and this next guess is like
Mhm.
I'm scrounging. I'm just maybe because it sounds similar to some of the other things we've talked about.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff kind of comes from like dumb things Trump has said.
Yeah.
So this is in a way similar because his whole cabinet says climate change is fake and all that, and they say the elections were rigged. And there's people also who say that his assassination attempts were inside jobs. So maybe his assassination attempt, much like JFK, was an inside job.
His assassination attempt being an inside job is not on the list. However,
yeah,
you
I
are on
think
the right
so.
track as a
Wow.
clue that a lot of these are kind of what Trump has said.
Yeah.
In fact, one of these is very specifically something that I believe Trump or someone else has said. In fact, I think it was, what's his name? The guy in charge of your health department? I think.
RFK.
RFK. I think one of these is something he has hinted at or has even just flat out said. But anyway, I'll give you top
but
one.
we did say the vaccine thing already, right? We did say vaccine.
You've not said the
Something about
vaccine
vaccine?
thing, but I'll give you
Oh,
one for
so-
Tom. But
I will say then, if we're going down the RFK route, which is this is not true, but he has said it, is that RFK has said very publicly, which is not true, but somehow this man is in a key position in government. He has said that vaccines can cause autism.
that is on the list at number 5. 40% said they had heard of that.
And this man has a job in the
Yes.
government,
So
a high rate. He's in charge of disseminating information that involves medicines and
I mean,
vaccines.
it's obvious why he has
He's-
the job. Trump just wanted to take his voters and make them happy and bring him on board for
Yeah.
getting all his votes.
Anyway,
So-
I will go over the. So we've come to the end. You guys got, I believe, 8 out of the 10, and I'll.
Can I say one more?
You can guess one more if you have one in
This
your
is
head.
my final guess.
Go for it.
And if it's all, most of these are things Trump has made up. So maybe that
Yeah.
Obama isn't an American citizen.
Obama not
yeah.
being an American
Yeah,
citizen conspiracy theory is not on the list, but that's
Okay,
actually
all right.
I feel like that was
But
a
that's
decent one.
that's one I've heard.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, you got 8 out of 10. Here are the two that you didn't get. Number 8 was 5G, the conspiracy
5G,
theory.
Oh,
the
yeah.
classic.
Yeah, 33%
Haven't
at
heard
number
about that.
8.
Haven't heard about that in a while though.
Yeah, to be fair, I was surprised that was still in the top 10, but I guess maybe it's just kind of a thing that's stuck around like COVID, because COVID's still surprisingly high, I personally feel, as a bioweapon thing. But, and then number 10 was that there is a secret cure for cancer at 28%.
Yeah, I've heard that one before too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of
I
the-
watched a video on that recently about like how they were literally curing cancer and reversing it on people, but then it turned out to be like all garbage.
Yeah. Some of the others that were in the top 20 was an actual conspiracy. So it's kind of sad that some kids have heard of this, but they've heard about the Holocaust denial conspiracy theory at 20%.
Oh, yeah.
They have heard about the chemtrails, 16%.
Oh yeah, chemtrails. Can't forget about chemtrails.
Yeah, yeah. And the other one was the Great Replacement theory they have heard of, which is at 16%.
And what's that?
That's basically a racist conspiracy theory. I think that believe that some white
they're
people
trying to
think
replace
that.
white
Yeah,
people.
they're like, oh my
So
goodness.
dumb.
Yeah, but yeah, there you go. You've did it, guys. You guessed.
Wow. Now we know what's on the minds of the British.
Now you know of British
what's on the-
kids between 11 and
British
18.
children.
Yeah, yeah.
We know what's on the
British
minds of
children.
British children.
Yep.
We did it.
That and Fortnite.
That and Fortnite.
That-
Yeah, there you go.
That Fortnite,
One Piece.
and I don't know. I've seen I've seen Willy Wonka. They want all the candy.
Yep. Kids love candy. Kids love quarters too.
Yep. They love. Yep. Exactly. That's a that right there is a throwback to the classic unfiction dad series. Everybody, movie coming soon.
Movie coming
It's a
next
short
year.
movie, not a
Watch
full
it.
movie, like an episode. It's like an episode of a television show. more
30
technically,
minutes.
but longer than an episode of the internet show.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
Thanks, Jamie. That was a
Exactly.
good quiz.
No worries.
Yeah, that was good.
I like that.
Well, I believe this brings us to the end of our New Year's pre-recorded episode. This is actually a really good episode.
It was.
Thanks,
Thanks
Jamie,
Yeah, I
for
think it
putting
was
that together.
pretty good. I think, yeah, I actually had, I think you guys did really good on this episode. And I think there was a lot
Yeah,
of
this is a
good,
good one.
crazy news. I think this is a perfect one to launch in 2026 and maybe is a
Yeah.
good indicator to how we go forward for the rest of the episodes in 2026.
Well, I think that after this episode, our marathon has been so successful. We've each made like $25,000 or something.
Whoa! We are all.
I know,
set.
crazy. Thank you everybody for all the
I can
support
get
on
some
the
more
because
VHS tapes to put in my background.
Exactly. No, but this is so again, last time we've pre-recorded this. So anybody watching this is pre-recorded so that Nathan's going on vacation for the holiday. We've all got holiday stuff going on.
Going
and we
away
didn't
for
want-
5 days to see my parents with the fiance. She's gonna
Yeah.
meet my parents for the
So-
first time.
Okay, congratulations on that.
Mhm.
Basically it's the holiday time, and rather than like spend because it does take time to put these episodes together, and Jamie does the editing of the shorts, and then I'm posting them, and rather than like be
And
doing
Jamie also
and
is
like we're
running
doing,
and producing the show right now live.
Jamie's producing
for us.
the show live, and
No,
also
he's doing a good job with his eyes closed.
Jamie's doing a great job producing that show right now. No, he really is, and we wanted to make sure that we could take at least like a week to like reset and get ready for the new year. So what you're seeing now, we might be in the chat right now. I can't guarantee that we're not in the chat. So if you have done a super chat or a membership during this episode, we've seen it. We won't be able to verbally shout it out, but we do appreciate it. And hopefully the membership, the marathon has gone well, and that we're still employed, and we can keep the show going.
Hopefully we didn't have to fire ourselves.
Hopefully we didn't fire ourselves, but thank you all for being here. Thanks for being here on the first episode of 20, which is crazy, 2026.
Yeah, getting old. Numbers
We're
keep
getting
coming. Years keep happening.
numbers just even Jamie is old now. We're all old. When we started streaming with Jamie, he was like 17.
He was a
He's 30
child,
now.
and now he's an old man.
This is crazy. We're
Even the
old.
British age.
We're all old. We're all old now.
We are.
He's not even alive anymore. He's
He
dead.
died. Jamie deceased.
He died. Look at him.
Oh,
look
he's
at him.
moving. He's
look at
moving.
him.
Oh, he's coming back.
No,
Oh,
no,
that's
he's
just
waking up.
like
I think
nerves. That might
no.
just be nerves moving around.
I also like that but the sun has gone down while we're recording this, so my room has just gotten gradually more radioactive
yeah.
this entire time.
Well, I'm in a cabin in the woods. It's always dark in here.
I've been messing with these. I just have a couple of like those like, LED
I was gonna say
streamer
it's
light
pink in your
things.
room all of a sudden.
Well, it's because there was light we started recording this and there was like light outside and it was diffusing these like streamer lights. I turned on some like random, like I have two of these like streamer lights
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I chose a different one and I might have, this is like almost two. I mean,
Are they
unless
like
pink
this
looks
long?
good.
Are they like the long ones?
No, they're like little
okay.
circular ones.
Oh, okay.
But
I have
I
something
just
like
I
that.
just have those and like I changed them because I think before they were a different color. I changed them to this like it's like red and pink, but now I feel like maybe this is too pink. I don't know. You guys in the chat, you tell me, should I leave it this color or should I change it? Is this too much?
I
Does
think
this
we
look
need to
good?
see your new background that you were talking about. We need to see that.
Yeah, we got to change it.
Yeah, that new
I
background
don't
I'm
know.
excited for.
Something.
Someday
I don't
we'll
know.
be in the
Final
cabin together.
This is the final episode of or the first. This is the first episode. Yeah, this is the first episode. It's not the
First
final. It's the
episode.
first. This is the first episode of 2026. Thanks for joining us on this pre-recorded episode, everybody.
Thank you.
Do you have anything else you'd like to say to the audience right now, Nathan?
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you. Hopefully, we'll be back next week. See you then.
See you next week.